Welcome back to Fort Collins, Colorado. It is sold out here at Colorado State. A crowd of about 30,000 or so expected. A late filing crowd coming in, and they are fired up to see their Colorado State Rams play. The series history, it has been a rather brief series. Actually goes way back to the 1940s. And the Rams lead this series 4-3. The last meeting, Fresno State winning big 2 years ago in Fresno, 44-13. The Bulldogs in their away whites with their red pants. They will kick off first to the Rams, who are trying to avoid their second straight home loss, something they have not done since Sonny Lubbock's very first season here in Fort Collins.
You know, Sonny Lubbock told us yesterday that he was meeting with his team tonight, and he was going to say, guys, this is what it's all about. You know, we haven't played well so far. I want you to go hit someone in the mouth. And we'll see if they respond.
Shut up and hit somebody is Fresno State's motto, and Colorado State would like that too. Brett Vicentainer to kick off, and we are underway in Fort Collins. Dexter Wynn takes it about 7 yards deep in the end zone, and wisely, he has decided to start at the 20-yard line. Bradley Van Pelt is the starting quarterback for Colorado State. It's been a problem area for the Rams this year. Van Pelt again making just his third collegiate start.
Good-looking athlete. Of course, he has it in the genes. Father Brad Van Pelt, a long-time All-Pro.
After missing the last 2 games with a bad hamstring, big playmaker Pete Rebstock back. He averages over 20 yards a catch. And Rebstock is number 4. He is starting the football game. And another weapon that Bradley Van Pelt certainly is glad to have. Wayne Ruff is in the backfield. And he gets the football first on the pitch. Shoved out of bounds around the 4. That'll be a 4-yard gain for Dwayne Ruff. Jason Stewart coming up to make the tackle. Senior Brock Finlayson anchors the Rams offensive line, moving from guard to tackle tonight because Broderick Lancaster is out with an injury. And the defensive line for Fresno State. Keep your eye on number 98, Alan Harper. The NFL prospect already has 6 sacks on the season. It is 2nd and 5. Ruff gaining 5 on the first carry. Van Pelt's first pass is off the hands of Pete Rebstock. Falls incomplete, bringing up a 3rd and 5. Let's take a look at the linebackers for Fresno State. Maurice Rodriguez is the Bulldogs' leading tackler.
Daly, guy in the middle who has actually been very solid all season for Fresno State.
And a couple of great safeties for the Bulldogs, and Bryce McGill and Vernon Fox.
Outstanding. These guys are all league, and Anthony Limerick is back there as well as a safety.
Kendall Edwards also getting the start over Tyree Sams. So 3rd and 5 for Colorado State. And Ruff gets it. He's not going anywhere. In fact, he'll lose a couple. Alan Harper among those coming in to make the stop. And Colorado State's first offensive series, not quite what they had in mind.
Well, they had positive yardage on the first play, almost an interception on the second, came back and got a corner blitz out of Fresno State. And people who haven't seen Fresno State, you may have the perception that this is a club that, you know, relies on cars, a West Coast throwing team, kind of soft, not much defense. Exactly the opposite. They like to run it. They are tough, and they don't run a West Coast offense.
Joey Huber in for the punt. He's averaging just under 42 per punt, and Bernard Berrien is a heck of a punt returner, and he wisely gets the fair catch, and Fresno State will take over on the 31. David Carr, number 8, the quarterback, Padlo's first recruit, has 3 300-yard passing games this season. And Carr certainly has a lot of weapons from which to choose. Bernard Berrien, we saw him there with the punt return fair catch, and Rodney Wright, they have 28 receptions apiece.
Well, Paris Gaines, their running back, had a big game last week, and if they can get the running game going with the passing game, obviously that's what you want. They really would like to get the running game established first, though, like almost every team in America.
And Gaines is the lone running back as David Carr passes on first down. Looking to pass, terrific coverage. He's forced to hold on to it, and he'll lose a yard.
I think that was a busted play. Nothing looked right about that play.
Justin Gallimore among them coming up to make the stop. Let's take a look at the offensive line for Fresno State. Center Mike Stovall, the only senior on the O-line. Redshirt freshman Logan Mankins has given up only 1 sack all year.
The man with the goatee there can really play. They like Mankins and Michael.
And the Rams defensive line features 3 Californians, including redshirt freshman Patrick Goodpaster, who's playing with 2 bad ankles tonight. 2nd and 10, they called it a no gain as a big gain for Gaines. He gets the first down and a whole lot more. Gallimore trying to chase him down, and finally, Justin and Jason Gallimore, the twin brothers, get Gaines, but not before he gets all the way down to the 11-yard line. A 57-yard gain for Paris.
Well, this was a quick hitter. He was through there before Colorado State knew what was happening. Great blocking, though, on the inside, and then a wonderful move there. The Gallimores guilty of a penalty here.
Gallimore's the ones who pushed him out of bounds.
Yeah, I thought that was...
57-yard run. He had a 58-yard touchdown run last game 2 weeks ago against Louisiana Tech. So it's 1st and 10 now from the 11. Two backs now, and a lot of movement on the right side of that offensive line. Joe Shai, the right tackle, among those, getting up early.
Most of the movement for Fresno State is just for deception.
False start, offense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Gerald Wright is our referee, a Mountain West Conference crew. Let's take a look at the linebacker. Sophomore Drew Wood leads the Rams with 3 interceptions. His coaches say he has taken control of this defense. And in the secondary, we saw him pursuing Paris Gaines. Justin and Jason Gallimore combined for 3 interceptions. And there is Pat Hill. What a terrific job he has done with his Fresno State football team. We'll get into his story throughout the night. 1st and 15 now from the 16 after the penalty. Carr looking in the end zone, and more penalty flags fly. No play.
Yeah, that was movement again from the left side of the line, I believe. That should go against Fresno. I think it was Mankins.
Part is snap. False start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Unusual that a great offense would have that type of problem here early.
Fresno State winning the last 14 games in which they've had fewer turnovers than opponents. Penalties, though, have been a problem for Pat Hill's team, and we've seen them take minus 10 yards already here on their first possession of the game. It's now 1st and 20 from the 21.
Audible.
Berrien in motion. Instead, they give it to Gaines up the middle. He gets down to the 14-yard line, picking up about 7.
This is an offense that really stretches you horizontally and vertically. They run Berrien in motion, and they do a great job of running what they call a fly sweep, where they just hand it to the scat back going down the horizontally, but that opens it up for the quick hitter.
3 wide receivers on the right of David Carr, 2nd and 13 for Fresno State. He has 5 receivers in all. Carr keeps it himself, gets around one tackler, heading for the end zone. Jason Gallimore pushing him out of bounds. Bernard Berrien with a good block.
Unlike the first play, that was designed, and we talked about the athleticism of Van Pelt. Carr has some wheels, and more importantly than that, he has some smarts. Sometimes running with the football is as much in the head with the brains as it is the feet.
And that sets up a 3rd and 3 as Fresno State make it a 3rd and 2. They only have to get down to the 1-yard line, and they will snap it from the 3. That formation,
there's
Dean.
An unusual set.
And they break it up, going back into the eye now. Little play action into the end zone, and touchdown for Fresno State. The tight end Steven Spock bringing it in. For Spock, that is his first touchdown of the season. And I don't know if that's a little disheartening, Dean. They got a couple of penalties, and still Fresno State able to punch it in, and they take the 6-0 lead.
Well, with the problems with Colorado State's offense, it's really tough for them to fall behind.
And Fresno State lining up to go for 2, but then they go into the regular kicking formation, Asen Asparuhoff in for the extra point attempt.
Yeah, they just want to make sure that Colorado State lines up sound.
Asparuhoff now 19 of 19 on extra points for the season. So Fresno State gets the football, helped by a huge running gain by Paris Gaines. That's the touchdown. David Carr ready with the touchdown pass. It's 7-0 Bulldogs. Fresno State averaging 35 points a game, and Steven Spock, the tight end, the backup tight end, catching the touchdown pass from David Carr, getting them on the board first. Dexter Wynn fields a kickoff a yard or two deep in the end zone, brings it out, breaks a tackle, and finally stumbles down across the 25-yard line. DeAndre Gilbert with the tackle.
The touchdown, I'm going to show you why this works. We're going to freeze it in the middle of this play. The reason it works is the play action. Watch the guys in the middle. Stop it right there. These three guys right here are going to be totally lost on the play after the play action. And Carr finds him, zips it in. He has to do it sidearm to find the lane. That's what he's terrific at doing.
Colorado State coming back with its second possession. They went 3 and out the first time out. 1st and 10 from the 26. Give it to Dwayne Ruff, and a little running back picks up about 5 as he is brought down just over the 30. Let's take it back to Bristol and an update with Reese Davis.
Penn, Florida, and Auburn. Gators up by 3, having to punt, and this is the only time a long snapper gets mentioned when he rolls it back. Rob Roberts back there. Matt Leach can't handle it. The Tigers recover, and then when we change ends for the 4th quarter, Chris Butler, who left the team earlier this season. You think Chris is glad he's back on the field? Scores a touchdown. Auburn with the upset brewing up 4.
How about that? Auburn taking the lead against Florida. South Carolina and Washington have already lost today. Van Pelt, perhaps his strength. He shows it, runs for the first down as he gets it past the 40-yard line. Maurice Rodriguez with the stop.
Terrific play by Van Pelt. And the reason it was is he didn't make a mistake. What he has done the first couple of games is force balls. Watch him down here at field level where he had, this is his perspective, pressure coming from the outside by Burley. He doesn't find his guy. Rather than forcing it, he uses his wheels, and he has some wheels. Look, good-looking, strong athlete.
It's a 9-yard gain. In fact, Van Pelt was asked to switch to running back earlier in the season, but declined to do that, and it was the next week when they decided to sit DJ Bush down and make him the starting quarterback.
Duffy Doherty said one of the biggest mistakes he ever made was not letting Brad Van Pelt play quarterback. He was a stud linebacker, and he was an all-pro. It's interesting that switching positions is such an item.
It was his father, Brad Van Pelt, was a terrific linebacker, wore number 10 for the New York Giants.
Correct the time to 10:25. 10:25.
So a little clock problem, and they get it corrected very quickly. 7-0, the Bulldogs on top of Colorado State. DJ Bush started out as the starting quarterback. He's only a sophomore. Bradley Van Pelt, a red-shirt sophomore from Santa Barbara, California. His first season of collegiate football, and the 7-1 in the last 8 games is Fresno State when they scored first. They have done that tonight. Lots of people coming at Van Pelt, but he finds his open receiver, Ari Childs, and Childs gets a 9-yard gain. He's brought down at the 49.
Perfect play call by Dan Hammerschmidt. Pressure is coming from your right side, and this is a play call. That's no check. That ball was coming outside immediately to Andre Childs, a transfer from Kansas, who has terrific hands.
Childs actually started the first 3 games of the season before being replaced by Dwayne Ruff, who is now back in 2nd and 1 after that 9-yard gain on first down. Ruff gets another first down as he goes into Fresno State territory. Let's head you back to Reese Davis. Reese.
All right, Pam, the Gators trying to answer, down 17-13. Rex Grossman. Oh, tip. Roberts can't come up with it, and the pick. And now Auburn's in business just outside the 20. That game's going on over on ESPN. They're in the 4th quarter.
All right, Reese. Wow. So the folks in Alabama have some things to be excited about in that part of the country.
Wow, that's terrific. Alabama dropping one earlier today. I'm sure the Auburn fans won't lose much sleep over that, but what a start there for Auburn.
Got a quick shot there of Sonny Lubick, who has done a terrific job here with Colorado State. Ruff gets the first down carry. Keeps the ball in bounds. Mark Daly coming up with the stop, but it's a gain of 6. Let's go down to Heather Cox on the field. Heather.
Well, everybody knows that CSU is desperate to find some offense. The question is how. The coaches this week fiddled with the playbook to package the offense around Bradley Van Pelt. He ran the option in high school, so to exploit his strength, they've added option plays, quarterback draws, boots, waggles, some play action, anything to get him outside the pocket. But it does draw the question, Dean, how much should the offense adjust to the quarterback or the quarterback adjust to the offense?
Well, it's a great question. They're going to do whatever they can to pick up first downs at this time.
And they get another one, or close to another one, I should say. Looks like Dwayne Ruff was stopped just a little bit short. Maurice Rodriguez coming up and making another tackle. We have him with 3 so far.
Rodriguez and the linebackers are very physical. Dwayne Ruff, though, the little guy, looking for holes. Sometimes it's harder. Really, it's an advantage to be a little scat back because you can find those little holes and creases, and sometimes, especially being low, you're particularly hard to tackle.
Dwayne is only 5'9", 187 pounds. He had 106 yards and a touchdown against Nevada earlier this year. 3rd and 1 from the 40.
Sneak it with that big guy.
Nope, they pitch it back to Ruff. He gets a lot of room. The first down and more, breaks a tackle. Ruff finally is tackled around the 15. That's a 25-yard gain on 3rd and 1.
Like I said, just run you a quarterback sneak. Well, I can come back and say that that's what they thought he was going to do, and so they crammed it in the middle. Another great play call. And the little man knows when to cut it back over pursuit. And Dwayne Ruff is making the most of his start. Well, this guy was really a wonderful, had an ebullient, smiling personality when we saw him the other day.
7 carries for 43 yards so far for Dwayne, who played his high school football down the road in Denver. 1st and 10 from the 15 for the Rams. Childs now in the backfield. He gets it. Won't get much. Dragged down for no gain. It will be 2nd and 10. Florida and Auburn. We'll get another update on that exciting game with Reese Davis.
Pam, Florida's defense stiffens. Damon Duvall, best kicker in America. He works that one like a hook on the golf course and got it right through there, and the Tigers up by a touchdown.
Will be a great one coming down the stretch. Florida's defense can stiffen, as Reese said, and you know what their offense can do. So I think this was going to be a barn burner. As is this one. That's
right. That one's shaping up to be a great finish. We have a good start here. 2nd and 10 from the 15 for the Rams. Rebstock in motion. Van Pelt gives it to Childs, who stumbles forward for about a 5-yard gain. It's going to be 3rd and 5 from the 10. Bryce McGill making the stop from his safety position.
3 points would be 3 points more than they scored against Louisville in their last outing.
All right, their defense outscored them getting that safety. They lost 7-2. Childs, you mentioned, a transfer from Kansas, where he was a running back, a wide receiver, a tight end, and a returner. And that is John Benton. There are co-offensive coordinators for Colorado State. He and Dan Hammerschmidt run the offense, and Benton is the play caller. 3rd and 5 from the 10. Van Pelt is hemmed up by Burley and has to throw it away.
Not a bad play. Not a bad play, and it was a great play defensively from Burley. We talked about his athleticism a little earlier, number 90, but Brad Van Pelt didn't force it. He also didn't get trapped back there and fumble it or get caught 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage. When you're outside the tackle box, just throw it away, give your team a chance to knock through the field.
That's one thing John Benton talked to us about, is limiting the bad play opportunities,
right,
not getting the turnovers, and they have to be pleased with that. Kent Naughton now in to try the field goal. It will be a 28-yard attempt. Naughton 2 for 3 overall on the season. He made from 25 and 38, missed from 31. Flags are down. And the Colorado State crowd,
well, that's big,
getting into it.
That's big. That may be a first down. This is a critical call here. Did Colorado State force? Did they move? Or was it Fresno? If it's Fresno, it could be a first down. 5 yards is what they needed.
They just needed the 5 yards for the first down.
Ah.
Offside defense. 5-yard penalty, which will result in a first down.
Big mistake by I think that is their stud, Alan Harper, up front. Nice job of pulling them off sides by Van Pelt.
Pat Hill going back to the drawing board, trying to figure out some of these penalties. Colorado State, by the way, more yards on this drive than the whole first half against Louisville last week. So they've already done it. 69 yards already tonight, and they are 5 yards away from the end zone. 1st and goal. Childs cuts inside, breaks a tackle, and scores the touchdown.
Yeah, it looked like he may have fumbled, but he didn't. What a terrific move by Childs. And Colorado State has to feel very, very good about that. Brad Van Pelt making no mistakes, just moving the chains, eating up the clock, taking advantage of the major mistake on the offsides, and knocking it in.
That is the first touchdown since the 4th quarter of their rout over Wyoming 2 weeks ago, when they won that game 42-14 in Laramie. Kent Naughton in for the extra point. It is true, and we have ourselves a tied football game. So the penalty giving Colorado State extra life, and Henri Childs and company taking advantage of it. The Rams have pulled even. We're tied at 7 in Fort Collins. Henri Childs with a 5-yard run, capping a 74-yard drive for Colorado State.
Toss sweep. McGill is the man in the middle, deep back there, and he has a chance for the tackle, but spin move, pirouette, and Childs wins that battle.
25-yard run by Dwayne Ruff helping out, as well as a penalty. Colorado State was going for a field goal, got a second life, and got the touchdown. There you see the first touchdown since their rout of Wyoming on the 29th of September. They only managed a safety last week against Louisville. Jeff Babcock with the deep kickoff. That's a touchback. Fresno State gets it at the 20 when we come back. But let's go back to Reese for more on Florida-Auburn.
Were you guys saying something about Florida being able to strike quickly? After the kickoff, as Damon Duvall booted out of the end zone, Jabbar Gaffney drew double coverage and ran right by both of them. 80 yards to the house, but a little low rent move here. Just get in the end zone and act like you've been there before, Jabbar. We're tied at 20. Texas Tech giving Kansas State a tussle, 24-13. Wildcats haven't lost 3 in a row since 1992, but they're in danger now.
Thank you, Reese. So we've had some upsets, and Florida trying to avoid one, as is Fresno. Tied up 7 apiece, 1st and 10 from the 20. And going to the air right away is David Carr. That will be a first down to Charles Smith, the senior from Union City, California. It's an 11-yard gain. So in the top 10, at number 10, is Fresno State. The Bulldogs, 5-0. You see 2 teams ahead of them losing today. Washington getting overwhelmed by UCLA. South Carolina also losing. Florida tied up now with in their game against Auburn.
Miami was awesome. Oklahoma is winning, and Nebraska wins, but Florida has to win that game. There are too many good undefeated teams in the country right now.
And Fresno State, obviously, one of them. First down, Carr outside to Rodney Wright, his favorite target, and Wright gets a 4-yard gain as he is stopped down by Dexter Wynn.
Well, Dexter Wynn made a nice tackle. If he doesn't, Rodney Wright is gone. That's the dangerous thing about those little quick screens or those hitches out there. Watch Carr gets it out of his hands so quickly.
You mentioned he really likes to go to Rodney Wright as well. Dean says that Rodney's my boy. Sometimes he says he has too much confidence in him. Went to him there with a lot of traffic, and it worked for a 4-yard gain. Bringing up 2nd and 6 from the 30, and Carr's changing up again, Dean.
See something he likes.
He likes Berrien, who is covered nicely by Wynn, and Carr has to take it himself. Goes out of bounds at the 35. That's going to bring up about a 3rd and 5.
Slips, gets back up. He moves well, though, Pam. I mean, if you haven't seen this guy again, he can do it all. I mean, he has an arm that can make all the throws. There's his early numbers. Not bad. His numbers on the year, terrific as well. But this is why the last numbers that came out from Mel Kiper, I believe, had him the number 4 player picked. But the coach says now he might be the number 1 player picked in the draft. So you're seeing a dandy.
He certainly helped himself. It's 3rd and 5 from just over the 35-yard line. Fresno 40% converting third downs on the season. Carr with time that time, and he goes and gets the completion.
Could be holding. Flag in the backfield.
But we'll check the flag as Alec Greco, his tight end, made a 28-yard catch and run, but it's coming back. And the penalties continue to hurt the Bulldogs.
Pat Hill is a disciplinarian, fundamentally solid. His team has a history of too many penalties.
Holding. Offense, 10 yards, previous spot, repeat, third down.
So instead of a big first down, it's going to be a third down. And look at the season. Fresno State over 400 yards of penalties, and they have 25 yards tonight.
Let's watch the takedown here by the center. That has to be what it is. Otherwise, a perfectly executed play. Carr throws the long ball better than any of the balls he throws.
Bringing up a 3rd and 15. Carr over the middle goes to Spock. His tight end stopped well short, and the Bulldogs will have to punt. Tony Colacion coming up with the tackle.
Larry Kerr sits back defensively, says we're going to run zone, we're going to keep everything in front of us, and we're going to tackle well. And that's what they did.
And because of that, we'll see Jason Simpson come out, a terrific punter from Garden Grove, California. Dexter Wynn backpedaling, picks it up at his 15, a huge seam up the middle. And Wynn is dragged down at the 45. A terrific return, Devon Banks with the tackle. So Colorado State got a touchdown last time out, a 30-yard return there by Wynn. We'll see what they do with the football when we come back. Right up to kickoff tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern. That would be 9 a.m. here in the Mountain Time Zone.
Very nice.
That was tough. How did you figure that out?
Well, we're out west now. We can. We have to work on that math. -1 or -2.
Yeah, it's tough no matter where I am. As Childs gets the first down carry and picks up about 9. 2nd and 1 coming up. Dexter Wynn doing it on the punt return, Dean.
Let's take a look at this. The one thing you don't want to allow if you're a punt coverage team is this up the middle. You want a guy to go sideways. That's not what's going to happen here. John Baxter, the special teams coach for Fresno, cannot like this at all. Great return. Maybe out-kicked his coverage. 50 yards. The net ends up being 30.
He is a terrific punter.
Make that 20.
Leading the whack. Yeah, 50. There's that math again going south on you as Van Pelt gets dragged down by the ankle. But not before he picks up another first down for the Rams. Jake Probst, the defensive end from Midway, Utah, making the tackle.
Pat, what's surprising me is that they're not throwing the ball, yet they're having success running. I really kind of thought that what would happen is Fresno would load that box and force Van Pelt to beat him with the pass. That's really not what has happened.
And establishing the run was something that Bradley Van Pelt obviously wanted to do. We have not seen him even try to get the ball to Pete Rebstock. 1st and 10 from the Fresno State 44. Another run, this time to Childs. And he is stopped just short of the 40 by Maurice Rodriguez. Give him a 3-yard pickup. Henry Childs with a good start tonight. He had a career-high 92 yards 2 weeks ago against Wyoming and a 37-yard run against Louisville last week. And he and Dwayne Ruff have been splitting time tonight. It's a 3-yard gain, make it 2nd and 7 from just outside the 40. Pitch back to Childs. Nowhere to go, and he goes down. You're going to lose a couple of yards. Grant Harrington coming up to make the stop.
Fresno runs well. I mean, you hear that about a lot of teams around the country, but this one really does. Dan Brown has a defense that everyone there can run, including the down men, Alan Harper and Jason Stewart. There you see Harrington getting some playing time in for Stewart. But anytime on a pitch you can get the pitch man running down that stripe, you're doing okay. You don't want him down the hash. You want him down that stripe.
Bringing up 3rd and 10 now. Colorado State 1 of 3 on 3rd down so far tonight. Van Pelt looking left, finding his receiver. That's Dallas Davis, but he will be short of the first down. Going to be about 6 yards short. Florida and Auburn, a barn burner down in Alabama. Here's reason.
3rd and goal, Pam. Daniel Cobb has scored a touchdown, called back for illegal procedure. 3rd and goal again. Cobb's got a chance. Alex Brown strips it. Cobb can't pick it up, and Todd Johnson has it. And the Gators get the ball back and dodge a bullet.
Are you kidding me? Everything is happening in that ball game.
Oh, Lord.
Joey Huber in to punt it away for Colorado State. He had a 46-yarder earlier tonight. Huber, terrific hang time punter. He gets that one way up in the Colorado sky. Berrien gets it and then steps out of bounds. Fresno State will take over on the 14.
Great kick.
27-yard kick, good placement. Heather Cox has some more stuff for us. Heather?
I am joined by John Elway. And John, obviously the first question in my mind, is this unfamiliar territory on the sideline, or have you gotten used to it yet?
It's unfamiliar when I'm just standing here watching. There's no question about that. I kind of wish watching these guys play. I wish I had a younger body, could be out there with them.
Now tell us a little bit about your relationship with the Lubick family. I hear it dates all the way back to babysitting days.
Yeah, it really does. And Sonny, you know, I'm a big fan of Sonny's, and I coached with my father at San Jose and Stanford, so I hope he can pull this one out tonight.
Now tell me a little bit, this is your first time that you've watched David Carr in person. What do you think so far?
I tell you what, he looks great. I'm really, you know, he's a great college player, and he'll be a great pro player, and I'm looking forward to following him.
All right, John, we'll let you enjoy the rest of the game. Enjoy retirement as well.
All right, thank you, Heather. John Elway coming up the road to look at a pretty good quarterback in David Carr. But Carr and his team in a big dogfight tonight. Colorado State playing well after 1 quarter of play. 10th-ranked Bulldogs tied up with Colorado State. There's a lot to cheer about here in Fort Collins. Colorado State has had the ball for about 10.5 minutes. Fresno about 4.5 minutes, tied up at 7 apiece after 1 quarter of play. We take you back to the game track, and it was a terrific first drive. David Carr, perfect so far, including a touchdown to his tight end, Steven Spock. Culminating a 68-yard drive. Took him less than 2 minutes to do it, but here come the Rams after a penalty. A field goal try gave the Rams second life, and Henri Childs took it in from 5 yards out, so we stand at 7 apiece as we start the second quarter.
Well, Colorado State has to feel very, very good after that first quarter. New tailback, Josh Levi.
Paris Gaines actually is back. Running back, Josh Levi, we will see throughout the night, but Carr goes in the air, completes it out to Marquez Davis, who picks up the first down as he is taken down around the 33. That's a 17-yard gain. So many weapons for this team.
Davis is a guy that has phenomenal athletic ability. That's what Carr says. Just a little stop route there, and that's when a guy like that can be very, very dangerous. You've got to make that tackle as a cornerback.
Jason Gallimore up there. Marquez Davis, just a redshirt sophomore. So it's 1st and 10 from the 33. Paris Gaines with the short gain gets it back over the 35. Adam Wade coming up with the stop.
Nice defensive adjustment to stop that. You've got to think, though, that David Carr is thinking bootleg out of that. Get him on the corner, and they'll look for a second-level tight end across, and if not, they'll have the play side tight end shallow. I think that play will be coming up. That's one of their favorites.
2-yard gain, so it's 2nd and 8 from the 35. 2 wide receivers to Carr's right, but he gives it right back to Paris Gaines. He's the workhorse tonight, and he is stopped just short, maybe a half a yard or so of the first down. Josh Stewart with the stop.
We talked off the top about David Carr being such a great player, but he doesn't care about numbers. He doesn't care about anything but getting a win. This one is so critical for Fresno State. If he can turn around and hand that ball off to Gaines or Levi or whoever's back there and pick up first downs, that's what he's going to do all night.
On the naked eye, it looked like they were about a half-yard short, but the chain gang coming up to measure and make sure. Paris Gaines is a senior from Vista, California, and he is about a length of the football short. That'll bring up 3rd and inches. Tuesday night, more football coming your way on ESPN2. Jeff Kelly and Southern Miss visiting Louisville. Dave Ragone leading the Cardinals against the top 5 ranked Southern Miss defense. College football coming your way Tuesday night, 8 Eastern on ESPN2. For more on this weekend's college football action, simply log on to ESPN.com anytime. And Dave Ragone was shut down pretty well last Thursday by this Colorado State defense, which came up with 4 turnovers against the Cards. We'll see what the D can do here. 3rd and inches for Fresno. Paris Gaines is stopped short. So Colorado State coming up.
Decision to be made here. Unless it is just very close, I would be very surprised if Pat Hill were to go for it.
Jason Gallimore, 5'10", 200-pound senior from Wheat Ridge, Colorado. Looks like they lost about a half a length of the football or so.
Big decision, though. Watch the surge defensively by the Rams. They got under, and the linebackers got over.
Terrific job by that defense. And now the chain gang coming out again for the measurement to make it official.
Well, Pat Hill has a decision. I think he'll punt that.
They did lose about a length of the football, so it's 4th and still short of a yard. And the offense is coming off the field. Here comes the punt team, Jason Simpson and company. So a terrific defensive series for Larry Kerr's Rams. Jason Simpson leading the WAC, 3rd in the NCAA coming into this game, averaging 47 yards a punt. He's up that with 50 on his first punt of the night. And this one,
it's returnable.
Dexter Wynn gets it at the 5, gets a good block downfield to get free, and he is knocked down just over the 30.
He's out kicking his coverage.
Todd Garcia.
21 net.
Yep, Todd Garcia with the stop. Dexter Wynn has a couple of good returns. Colorado State has the ball when we come back.
Larry Kerr, the defensive coordinator, talking to his linebackers about angles, saying, guys, you're doing a good job, but you've got to tackle at the right angle. Otherwise, the guy will squirt through for big yardage.
Kerr in his 9th year as the defensive coordinator under Sonny Lubick. Dwayne Ruff with the first down pitch, and he gets up close to another first down. Florida-Auburn, last time we checked, Florida dodged a bullet. We'll see what's going on now with Reese Davis.
Okay, Auburn fumbled it away, Pam. Rex Grossman trying to move his team, buying a little time. He's got a man wide open down the field, but he can't quite get it to him. And Carlos Dansby picks it off, and Auburn's on the move. They're in Damon Duvall's field goal range right now at about the 35, about 48 to go.
Auburn making the plays there. You'd think that Spurrier and Grossman would be the 2 guys that you'd want to catch up or take the lead, but Auburn making the plays.
And so is Colorado State. Dwayne Ruff, little Dwayne, you can see how small he is there against Joel Dreesen, the tight end H-back, and some of the big guys up front. Ruff gets another first down, 54 yards on 9 carries.
A little big man. You know he's standing proud, though.
Delightful guy. We did talk to him the other day. Played high school at Mullen High down in Denver. Tore his ACL in the senior year. Said a lot of people dropped off of him. Colorado State stayed with him, and he's become a good pickup for them. It's 1st and 10 now from the 41. Van Pelt looking to pass, and he finds his man. It'll be short of the first down. Alex Ochoa, the tight end, Jose Ochoa with the catch. Alex Ochoa plays baseball. He's not here tonight.
Well, there's some baseball going on.
That's a 7-yard gain.
Van Pelt, though, is continuing to do what he's coached to do. No mistakes, no mistakes. Don't throw it to the guys in the white. Don't eject out of the pocket too early. Nice job. Not a first down, as you said, but a pickup and keep the ball.
7-yard pickup, Dean, so it's 2nd and 3. Van Pelt coming in with 5 interceptions and 4 touchdown passes on the season. Hands it off to Ruff, and he is roughed up, and he is dropped immediately. Nick Burley, the junior from East Palo Alto, with the stop.
Well, they bring a blitz this time, so they outnumber the blockers, and Nick Burley This guy is very, very quick. He plays on the edge, but he's also so agile that he could play down inside. He's a guy that's 6'4", 250, but he moves like a running back. Really impressed with this guy.
We talk about how well he runs to the ball. Dan Brown, the defensive coordinator, says he searches out the football.
Yeah.
And we saw it on that play. 3rd and 4 coming up for Colorado State. Their own 47.
Third downs are on the quarterback. And the quarterback has to make plays on third downs.
So far, Van Pelt and company just 1 for 4 on 3rd down this evening.
Blitz from the top, maybe. Yep.
Gets it off in time. All alone is Joel Dreesen. And he picks up another Colorado State first down. That's a 9-yard gain, and they are in Fresno territory.
Well, Van Pelt's doing the right things. I think he felt the blitz come from the left side. Dreesen comes wide open. Perfect play. It's on the quarterback. Make the right decision. Easy throw there if you make the right decision.
1st and 10 from the Fresno 42. Dreesen now has 8 catches in his last 2 games plus. Pitch back to Ruff. Cuts it inside, and he is cut down after a short gain by Cameron Worrell, the strong safety. Which is not even a gain. It's a loss of 1. So it's 2nd and 11 coming up.
That's pretty good. They run a lot of safety blitzes, and that time Worrell, all the way from about 15 yards deep on the far side of the field, was able to make the play in the backfield.
Like to bring their blitzes from different places, safeties, corners, so they show a lot of stuff. And certainly you'd want to try to confuse a guy like Van Pelt. This is only his 3rd collegiate start at quarterback. So it's 2nd and 11 after the 1-yard loss. Rebstock in motion. He has yet to catch a pass. Ruff has done a lot of work. And Ruff is met and falls forward. But that's going to be another loss of 1. So Colorado State is going backwards. 3rd and 12 upcoming.
Well, there were a couple of collisions there. The first was by Rebstock. Watch him blocking right there. But then on the corner, there's another hit. Burley all the way out there to make that one.
That's 3 straight rushes for Dwayne Ruff that have resulted in 1-yard losses. So it's 3rd and 12 for the Rams. 2 receivers split to the right. Colorado State 2 for 5 on 3rd downs tonight. Van Pelt keeps it himself, searching for that first down marker, and he gets the first down. Pushed out of bounds around the 30. Great effort by Van Pelt, using his size there. Van Pelt listed as 6'3", 217 pounds. A flag is down, and it looks like it's coming back, Dean.
Well, it's a tough penalty for Colorado State after converting a 3rd and long.
Illegal formation, offense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 3rd down.
That one hurts. Sonny Lubick on the sideline, animated about that. Bradley Van Pelt coming into this game over 100-yard rushing on the season, averaging about 3.5 yards a carry. And that's impressive, of course, because sacks count against you in rushing in college football.
Only 6 men on the line of scrimmage on that play. You know, I mean, that's just a matter of, that's a mental bust. All you have to do is move up a yard. That play works. It doesn't affect the play by you being back a yard. Perfect play call, a great run by Van Pelt. But it all comes back, and Fresno see if they can take advantage of the break.
They can pin their ears back now on 3rd and 19 from the Fresno 49. And a timeout is taken by the Bulldogs. They'll talk about their defensive strategy. We'll be back 3rd and very long for the Rams.
Reese Davis in the studio. Damon Duvall of Auburn with the game tied against Florida. Toe meets leather. High enough. Long enough. Watch him play that hook again. Good. And for the 3rd straight week, Duvall with a clutch field goal to put his team ahead. If Auburn can hang on, it will be the 3rd straight week that Duvall has won the game. 23-24. Ticks to go in Jordan-Hare.
That is as clutch as it gets for Tommy Tuberville's team, and all they got to do is hold on for 4 more seconds.
Where's the tight end? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where's this guy? He's on the sideline. You've got to have 7 lined up. Whoa, what a mistake.
And that mistake now makes it 3rd and 18. Van Pelt had picked up the first down, called back because of the illegal formation penalty. Looking downfield, going long, and that is incomplete as he was looking for Eric Hill, the sophomore from Denver.
We had him. He hit too much air under the ball. Great call, though, because even if that ball is intercepted, if you tackle the man who intercepts it, it is as good, if not better, than a punt.
So that 8-play drive goes by the wayside, and here comes the punt from Joey Huber. Bernard Berrien is back. Very dangerous returner, as well as a terrific wide receiver for Fresno State. Huber, this is his 3rd punt already. Hangs it up nicely. Berrien lets it go over his head, and it
bad kick.
It's about 8 yards deep, and too deep in that case. Absolutely, that's a touchback. A 49-yard punt, but it comes back to the 20. That's where David Carr and the Bulldogs will take over when we come back. Still tied up. Welcome back to Fort Collins. Pam Moore, Dean Blevins, and Heather Cox along with you. And Colorado State putting up a good fight. Tied up with Fresno State, and Bradley Van Pelt on the phone talking upstairs. Did a good job on that last drive. He's like, where's my tight end? Because that's what killed him.
Interesting guy. He's like a type A personality, but he's a surfer dude. You know, he comes on a skateboard to practice, and Sonny Lubick says, that's all right. That's all right. If he throws touchdown passes.
Right, and so he's very serious, though, once he hits the football field, just wants to win. 1st and 10 from the 20. Carr has his tight end wide open. That's Alec Greco, and Greco gets a 13-yard gain, another first down for Fresno State. Let's get another update now from Reese Davis.
Last chance for the Gators against Auburn. 4 ticks to go. Rex Grossman buying some time. Turns out Florida's in an illegal formation, but this is well worth the watch. What are you doing, Rex? Crossing the line of scrimmage. Go! Now you got to get rid of it. Yeah, look for Max Starks, the big tackle. You can be a hero, Max. Tuck it away. Run, big fella. Ball game, Auburn wins 23-20.
Boy, thanks, Reese. You don't often see about a 5-minute 40, which is what happened there. Congratulations to Auburn as David Carr keeps it and gets a 9-yard gain. Boy, the top 10, talk about some turbulence. We have seen that today. 3 teams in the top 10 have fallen, including Florida losing for the first time.
Well, they all win, but Washington, South Carolina, and Florida. Washington was really hammered today by a great UCLA club.
And South Carolina fell to Arkansas 10-7. So Fresno State with a golden opportunity now, maybe to move up.
Yeah.
And
well, they're thinking BCS. You know, win. This is a critical game for them. I think it's the toughest game from here on out, and they know that.
2nd and 1 from their own 41. Paris Gaines, the lone running back. Gets it. Well, lots of pad popping, that is, but it should be enough for the first down. Drew Wood coming up with the stop. Earlier, actually yesterday, there were some inductions in the Colorado Hall of Fame. Heather Cox now has an update down on the field.
Actually, an injury update for you, Pam. Marquis Davis, the wide receiver for Fresno State, has gone into the locker room for x-rays on a left ankle. Just precautionary. The good news for the Bulldogs, they are very deep at the wide receiver position. We'll know during the half whether or not Davis is coming back.
All right, thanks. As Marquis Davis goes out, they do have 4 top receivers, now down to 3 with Davis leaving. Carr, first down, lots of time. He goes for Berrien, who is behind the defense, and he misses him. Berrien breaking free. Aaron Sprague was trailing way behind him.
A lot of action on that play. I mean, he had the time that Dorsey at Miami had all day today. He's a great long ball thrower, and after holding on to it for 5 or 6 seconds, he barely misses Berrien. I mean by inches. Wide open.
Sprague about 7 yards or so behind him.
I'm not sure that was actually overthrown. Berrien has great closing speed, and Carr knows he missed one there.
One that got away. That is the first incompletion for Carr tonight. 6 of 7, 56 yards and a touchdown. Bringing up 2nd and 10.
Blitz from the side here. Backing off now after the check.
Carr going to put it up. Has to run with it. We hear whistles, flags down, confusion, mass confusion, and we'll try to sort the whole thing out. Flag was thrown on the 42-yard line of Colorado State.
Delay. Offense. Ball was not stopped.
Well, another unforced error. And
Still second down.
Fresno needs to make some plays. They need to get some momentum.
The penalties continuing to come at key times. 5 now for 30 against Pat Hill's club, and Colorado State's penalty was also key. It negated a first down run by Van Pelt.
Well, Colorado State has dominated possession time, so Fresno needs to score points here.
2nd and 15 for the Bulldogs. Gaines goes around the right side. Eludes one tackle, but is brought down by Drew Wood, among others. Picks up 9 yards.
I like this Gaines. I mean, I really do. The Louisiana Tech game, he was just terrific, mostly through the middle, but he shows that he can get outside a little bit. Levi really is the slasher, but this is a guy that he's lost some weight. 230 is what he was. He's down to about 218 now.
Only had 375 yards rushing all of last year as he came off an ACL tear in the Las Vegas Bowl. He had 203 yards and 3 touchdowns 2 weeks ago against Louisiana Tech. 3rd and 6. And Carr backs away. And we'll have a discussion with the official.
You know, he may be complaining about Colorado State's players trying to get them to jump off sides. You can't make noises to try to make the offense jump. You can't sound like a quarterback.
Good crowd here in Fort Collins. Sold out. First game that's been sold out since they played Wyoming late last season, and the crowd gets going again. 3rd and 6.
They're a middle screen team. I wouldn't be surprised to see that here.
3 receivers to Carr's left. That's
right
where
there.
he looks, and he finds Charles Smith. Smith short of the first down.
Another tough call here for head coach Hill, but that was a middle screen. It's exactly what it was. Watch the lineman open up here. Smith comes over the middle and tries to cut it up. The offensive line most of the time will fire off and get downfield, but the Rams are ready for that. Kerr has his men ready for 2 or 3 specific plays in situations like that. The middle screen is the one that they are most aware of.
4th and less than a yard, and they are going for it. Fresno 1 for 2 on 4th down so far this season. Forget about it. They have changed their mind, and Jason Simpson, the punter, comes on.
Fake. You know what? They don't have a fake. I asked them yesterday if they had a fake punt.
John Baxter, the special teams coach, interesting guy. Had a nice chat with him last night. Simpson going for the old coffin corner. Wynn watches it, and it just gets into the end zone. Boy, he missed by a whisker. 49-yard punt. Colorado State will take over from the 20. Another NFL game coming your way tomorrow night on ESPN. It's Oakland and Indianapolis. Jerry Rice taking his skills across the bay, where the Raiders, more than just a passing fancy. The Colts countering with the league's highest scoring offense and the incomparable Peyton Manning. A meeting of offensive minds. It's the Colts and the Raiders tomorrow night, 8:28 Eastern time. Be there promptly for the Raiders and the Colts.
Peyton Manning, how about Eli Manning today for Mississippi? Ole Miss comes back and beats Dennis Franchioni's Crimson Tide on the last drive, a la Peyton.
Mannings all can play some football, and you see it has been Sweet Home Colorado for Colorado State. The last 11 home games, they've only lost twice. They lost earlier this year to San Diego State. Van Pelt gets the completion to Pete Rebstock. Rebstock's first catch of the night, and he picks up 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 25. And Rebstock, boy, what a weapon he has been. They've really missed him the last couple of games. He's been out with the hurt hamstring, averaging 20 yards a catch. Also has been a terrific return man in his career.
Well, he's just the best wide receiver in this conference. Just great ball skills. Fresno needs a 3 and out here. And they have a good chance now because that's procedure against the guys in the green. So they're back to 2nd and 10.
Look like Eric Pears, the
Part of
left
the snap.
tackle.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
This is a defense that's tired. Pam, they've been on the field a long time.
2nd and 9 coming up after that penalty. And the Fresno State Bulldogs not used to being out there. This really is a terrific defense. You hear a lot about the offense, and this defense, this is a defense that has wreaked havoc. 23 sacks from the defensive line alone, and that leads the WAC in that department. Van Pelt, boy, he is a tough guy. Scoots up for the first down and more. Takes a whole bevy of guys to get him down around the 40, a 19-yard gain.
Again, a great play call. You haven't seen the option all night. You go to the near side. Most of the time you think far side. Defense slides down the line of scrimmage. Pitch man is not there, and so you get the guy carrying the ball you want. Van Pelt, you know, they want him on the corner. They want him on the perimeter in different situations. That's a great way to get him on the perimeter.
And you could see there why some of the coaching staff thought he'd make a pretty good running back.
Yeah.
And remember, this is a Colorado State team that's depleted at running back. Cecil Sapp was supposed to be their star. He has a heel injury, actually had a benign tumor removed, so he's out for the season.
Didn't Michigan State want him to be a running back?
They did not want him to be a quarterback, and that's why he transferred, absolutely. Van Pelt, after the first down run, looking for his tight end, Joel Dreesen, and that is incomplete. So still trying to get the touch and getting things down in the passing game for Van Pelt. Bradley 5 of 9 for 35 yards, doing some good things on the ground. His mother actually has made the trip. She is here tonight from Santa Barbara. His dad, his parents are divorced, been divorced for a long time. He is in Michigan where he's a teacher, and he did not make this trip this evening, but Bradley happy that his mom could come and see him play. 2nd and 10. Gives it to Childs. Childs will pick up a couple. So 3rd and long upcoming. Luis Rodriguez with the stop.
Pam, big play here for Fresno. I mean, they make a stop. They have a chance, 4 minutes to go. That they would get it about with 3:40 to go if they make a stop here. Certainly plenty of time for David Carr to get his team down the field and in the end zone for a field goal. But Colorado State has dominated the clock and really contained Fresno State's offense.
3rd and 8, and they're going to go back to Childs, and he has stood up short of the first down, but another flag is down on the field. This Mountain West officiating crew has been busy. We got a hold against Colorado State. They didn't have the first down anyway.
You turn it down and you let them punt and take the ball with, like I said, probably 3:45 to go here in the first half.
Holding offense. Decline. 4th down.
And you could see Pat Hill read his lips. He's like, 4th down, meaning decline it, because they were going to get the ball back anyway, and they will do that with just under 4 minutes to go. We told you Bernard Berrien's a heck of a return man, and he did it against Wisconsin, opening up the second half earlier this season. How about Fresno outscoring Wisconsin 22-0 in the second half, winning at Camp Randall? A terrific victory for them, and Bernard got him going with that kickoff return. And Berrien is back for Joey Huber's punt. Gets it at the 13, missed tackle, and then he's dragged down from behind. Great effort there by Thal Woods. Missed him the first time, but got him the second time around. We'll see what David Carr can do. He's got a long way to go. His team is tied up at 7 with Colorado State.
There may never be a play in college football more memorable than the Doug Flutie to Gerard Phelan's fantastic finish when Boston.
Welcome back to Fort Collins, Colorado. That guy stole Dean's hat. He's got a lot to be happy about. Colorado State winning, and it's been a struggle on the road for Fresno State this year. You see they're scoring 15 points more a game at home than they are on the road. And actually, they've done better at home. They're only 10 and 17 on the road overall under Pat Hill since he took over. 1st and 10, Carr whips it out, finds his receiver, and that is Charles Smith, who gets it up around the first down marker. Tony Clausion coming up with the stop.
He covered a lot of ground to pick up 10 yards, but it was a good 10 yards for David Carr. David Carr now has completed 8 of 9 passes, but 71 yards.
There's a good sign for Fresno State. Marquez Davis is back, still limping a little bit, but at least he is back on the sidelines for Fresno. That was a first down. 1st and 10 from the 21. That ball is incomplete, tipped around. Dexter Wynn was all over the place. Brian Kenny has an update for us now in the studio.
Pam, coming up at the half, we've got highlights. The mighty Gators have fallen. We'll have highlights as well as Hurricanes impressive, of course, winning at Florida State, and Deshaun Foster over 300 yards in a big Pac-10 game. That's all coming up. We'll have highlights at the half. Pam?
Thanks, Brian. We look forward to that. And boy, Foster, what a game. An impressive win for the Bruins. Carr on 2nd down, a little bit of a lane. Takes it and steps out of bounds close to the 1st down marker. We might get a late hit.
Yep, tack on some more yards.
There is
Nice
a flag
play.
down, yes, on the play.
Yeah, can't make those mistakes. I mean, I don't know what's so hard about that. I watch games today, and you see several of those penalties. I know the defensive mentality, Pam, is to attack.
And it was not a late hit. How about a hold? Looks like Bernard Berrien was over there and had a hand on Justin Gallimore, and he actually threw Gallimore out of bounds. So it was extra rough stuff and really a bad penalty.
Holding, offense, 10 yards, into the run. Repeat, 2nd down.
Well, that's tough after a long game.
Right. I don't really understand that call.
Very unusual.
Yeah. From our vantage point, it looked like a late hit by
it did.
the Rams,
You know,
but it
and you
was
assume
not.
that obviously
Right,
when a guy
right.
goes out of bounds and you see some contact on the sidelines, especially on a quarterback. And Pat Hill doesn't understand the call either.
Right.
So make it 2nd and 9. 5 wide receivers in, 3 to David Carr's right. And he looks that way all the way, gets the completion. And a slip of a tackle by Charles Smith. He is stopped short of the 1st down. Looks like he's going to be a couple of yards short.
Clock becomes a little bit of a factor now. Colorado State keeping everything not only in front of them, but sort of an umbrella look to keep them in bounds, to keep the clock running. I think the balls that are going to be open are going to be the balls in the middle.
That was an 8-yard gain. 3rd and 1. 3rd and a long one for Fresno State. Carr looking all the way. It's incomplete as he goes for Rodney Wright. And the Colorado State defense has held again.
I think the Colorado State defense knew that it had to do its job. I mean, when you come in knowing that your offense, as Sonny Lubick said, is not going to go out and score 25 points, you realize that you have to really shut them down. It's hard to shut down a team like the Bulldogs, but when that expectation level is high, your performance is high.
Jason Simpson in to punt for Fresno State. His 4th punt. Dexter Wynn gets it at the 33 and pirouettes. Another flag is down. This one looks like it will go against Colorado State.
I hate to keep saying poor punts, but we're having punts into the end zone. We're having punts that are out kicking their coverage. We're having punts that aren't over 20 feet high. The punters, now I realize there is some wind, but the punters have not had a good night. And John Baxter, the special teams coach at Fresno, thought that would be the biggest play tonight. He thought that the punts would be the biggest plays in the game tonight.
Illegal block in the back during the return. 1st down.
1st down for Colorado State after that illegal block call. Coming up, NFL Countdown tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Boomer, Chris Berman, the rest of the guys, TJ, Stu, Sterling. Boy, Sterling's a fun guy. Steve Young and Chris Mortensen. Get ready for all of the day's NFL games. Reports from everywhere in the National Football League. Wake up tomorrow morning, turn on ESPN, and you will be informed. NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow morning on ESPN. What was cool about Mountain Time Zone? There were football starting at 10 o'clock this morning.
That was beautiful.
Isn't that great?
Just beautiful. This is the 12th game I've seen today.
2 minutes and change to go. Dwayne Rupp breaks a tackle and gets a first down for the Rams. Devon Banks finally tackles him. That's a 13-yard gain.
Yeah, and you know what? I think the Colorado State would be content just to run the clock out. They're not going to risk anything, but they're going to pitch it and see if Dwayne can do something with it. Well blocked. Harper misses a tackle, 98. He doesn't miss many. 2 timeouts for Colorado State remaining.
First down from their own 40. Get it right back to Ruff. And he gets about 8 more. Another penalty flag, however, is down. We talked to Dwayne Ruff the other day. It's a motion penalty that will come back against Colorado State. And he said with the offense, he felt they were just pressing too much. He said we just need to relax. We need to just go out there. And they're still trying to gain confidence, obviously, in Van Pelt. They're sort of feeling each other out.
Right.
Illegal shift, offense, 5 yards, previous spot, repeat, first down.
Had a lot of illegal shifts and not getting 7 men on the line of scrimmage.
10 guys out there, not getting your tight end out. Little weird stuff. Stuff you probably wouldn't expect this late in a season.
Yeah.
Gerald Wright again, the referee of this Mountain West Conference crew. So with the penalty, it's 1st and 15 from the 35. Dwayne Ruff, the lone running back. Play action. Plenty of time for Van Pelt. He's looking deep for Repstock, who gets it and then drops it. Boy, Repstock had it for an instant and then was unable to bring it in. Tyrese Sams was with him step for step.
It's another great play call, because if it's intercepted, you've only got a minute to go in the half, and Repstock makes the play but can't hold on to it. Tyrese Sams has to turn around and make that play defensively.
And Van Pelt's like, we got it, we got it. What do you mean he didn't get it? Wow, that could have been a huge play. John Benton, the co-offensive coordinator, looking on as well. And that brings up 2nd and 15. They had a big play last week negated against Louisville because of a penalty. Still trying to find the big plays. Instead, go back to your bread and butter, Dwayne Ruff, and he is stopped for a loss. Grant Harrington coming up to drop him in the backfield. So now we're under a minute in the first half, and 3rd and 17 upcoming for the Rams.
Didn't surprise me that they ran the ball that time, because of, they just had a good half. Again, you can't make a mistake here and turn it back over to Fresno State and allow them to gain some momentum going into the halftime break. Fresno State content to not use their timeouts. I think they want to go in and regroup, Pam.
It's not been the kind of half, certainly, that they had expected, even though Pat Hill told us he did expect a dogfight tonight. That's going to be a delayed game against Colorado State. How about 3rd and 22 upcoming?
Well, they were going toss sweep.
Delay. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Looks like Gerald's out of breath a little bit. He's doing a lot of work tonight.
He's been busy.
Thin air up here in Fort Collins.
Just picking up those flags has him. You know, that really turns out to be a play that's advantageous to Colorado State. They've started the clock, and I don't think they can start that clock.
Yep.
Coming back to 25 seconds, you know, if they let you do that, you could do that all night long.
So put 8 seconds back on the clock. 3rd and 22. You think you just go conservative and give it to Ruff again?
Sure. You know, start to say Florida State. This is sort of the new FSU, by the way, with Florida State losing a couple.
Yeah.
But Fresno has shown that it's not going to call timeout, so might as well hand it off and go to the locker.
Van Pelt not even going to do that, hanging on, and he'll pick up a couple.
They may want to have a chance to block the kick, though. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. Good call.
Alan Harper coming up with the stop, and Fresno State does indeed take the timeout, stopping the clock with 19 seconds left to go in the first half. This is a team that really has blocked a lot of kicks during Pat Hill's tenure, but only one blocked extra point so far this season. That came against Colorado early in the season. We'll see if they can set one up. Fresno State and Colorado State in the waning seconds of the first half. Joey Huber back to punt. Fresno State maybe has something up its sleeve.
Yeah, no reason to not go after this one. You've got to be out there with the gunners, but no reason to not just go after this with all you have.
Bernard Berrien is standing at his 23. They're coming after Huber, who gets it off. Berrien, not only does he get it off, he backs up Berrien, and it just goes into the end zone.
What about that kick, though? That's like a golf shot that travels 310 yards up here in the thin air.
How about a 68-yard punt, career best for Joey Huber, and he did it under a lot of pressure.
Sometimes you get the longer kicks under the pressure.
He had a 58-yarder earlier this season, and that baby, after get 59-yarder last year, was his career high, and now he has a new one at 68. Good job by Joey.
Taking a knee and heading to the locker room.
Huber also did have a 72-yarder in a bowl game, so he used himself a leg, and David Carr takes a knee. Fresno State scoring on its very first possession of the game. David Carr threw a touchdown pass after a 68-yard drive that took less than 2 minutes. He's completed 9 of 12, but Colorado State's defense has been in his face during the entire first half. We are tied up at 7. What do you think about that, Brian Kenny? Welcome back to Fort Collins, Colorado, where Colorado State is playing extremely tough football. They are tied up with Fresno State 7 apiece at the half. Fresno State unbeaten so far on the season. Let's take a look at the ESPN2 game track to see exactly how we got here. It was a terrific start for Fresno State, scoring on their very first drive. David Carr is 9 of 12, 79 yards. He does have a 3-yard touchdown pass to his tight end, Steven Spock. Bradley Van Pelt only put the ball up 10 times, but he has 4 carries for 33 yards. Dwayne Rupp doing a lot of work. As you see, the total offense is very close for Colorado State. The little guy doing it. Henry Childs has a 5-yard touchdown run. That is the score for the Rams, who have evened up this game at 7 apiece as we get set for the second half in Fort Collins.
I felt if Colorado State could have 60 plays that they would have a good chance in this game, because 70 is the average. That they needed 60 plays. Well, they have 36 already. They're on pace for 72, and Fresno's on pace for only 52.
How about that? That ball was kicked out of the end zone. So touchback. Fresno State will get the ball first here in the second half, but we'll have to do it from the 20. Let's go down to the third member of our team, Heather Cox.
Well, no surprise, Sonny Lubick, big smile on his face heading into the halftime locker room. He would like to see a big offensive play. Look for that home run play in the beginning of the second half for Fresno State. Very frustrated with penalties, also with the lack of defending the running game. Nobody would have guessed the Rams would have outrun the Bulldogs.
That's right, a lot of that Childs and Ruff, and they're not getting anything there as Drew Wood came up and put a hurting on Paris Gaines.
Well, what happened in that first half was that Fresno started running the ball. I mean, Paris Gaines had 85 yards in the first half. He averaged 11 yards. Had an injury, I believe.
We do have a Colorado State man down on the field. There's no gain, by the way, for Paris Gaines. 2nd and 10 coming up. So Colorado State putting the clamps down on this very potent Fresno State offense that averages 35 points a game. You take a look, and Heather mentioned the rushing yards. Colorado State with 6 more than Fresno.
Well, they're pretty even across the board. I think the biggest thing is that Colorado State wanted to have ball possession, and it's almost 2-1 in favor of Colorado State. And as I mentioned, the number of plays is critical as well.
And some penalties hurting Fresno State. Dexter Wynn was the man who's hurt, but he got up under his own power and gets off to the sideline, so that's good to see. Maybe just got, as you see, he's flexing his neck, maybe just got his proverbial bell rung there. So you've had that happen a few times, even outside of football.
I'm sitting here with the bell that is rung. Who rang?
2nd and 10 for Fresno. with play action, and that pass is incomplete, going for his tight end, Alec Greco. In the passing game, Carr, we saw the one long pass play attempt in the first half where he had Berrien wide open, missed him, but he's doing a lot of dinking, a lot of short stuff tonight.
Well, he is, and that was atypical of Carr. I mean, that was a wide open, easy ball on a little boot, and he missed his man. The longest ball from Carr tonight, 17-yard gain.
You see the third down conversions, half of what they usually are, just 20% so far, 1 of 5. This is 3rd and 10. Carr gets the pass complete. That's a first down for Berrien. Berrien tackled near the 40-yard line. That's a 19-yard gain. And that is Bernard Berrien's first catch of this game.
Cornerback fell down on this. Number 2, it's Woods. Watching just now on your screen, right there. He fell down. That made the play work. A couple of twos working on each other. And move the chains.
You see Bernard with 28 catches coming in tonight. That was his first catch. He's 5th in the country in all-purpose yards as a returner and as a receiver, 197.5 yards a game on average. First down from the 40. Carr looking for Rodney Wright, and he gets his wide receiver for another first down. He's into Colorado State territory.
Even though Rodney Wright is a little figure out there, perhaps 5'9", 170 pounds, that's his favorite target, and he runs a lot of slant routes.
Wright and Smith, both of them diminutive. They're known as the Smurfs on this team. Working well, 1st and 10. Carr to the air again, this time to Gaines, who can't quite hold on to it.
The easy stuff. I mean, Fresno is not making the easy plays. Gaines had it one-on-one if he makes this catch. Not a well-thrown ball. We can't blame that one on Paris. That's another short, bad ball from David Carr.
Paris Gaines coming in with 5 catches on the year for 67 yards.
I mean, I think the pressure's on Fresno now. It is such a critical game for them to win. And they're not in a bad position in this game, but they need to go put points on the board.
2nd and 10. Carr doing a lot of checking off tonight, Dean.
Yeah, he is. I think they were disguising a blitz. I think they'll drop back. Yes, they are.
He does have time to throw. Looking, and he completes it to Charles Smith. And Smith is tackled on around the 22-yard line. That's a 27-yard gain for Smith.
A couple of things here. Look at the gun on Carr, and look at Smith after he catches the ball. Quick spin, and he gets around Aaron Sprague, who does a poor job of trying to tackle him.
Smith has 4 catches for 50 yards tonight. The senior from Union City actually just getting back to full speed. He sprained a knee ligament in the final intra-squad scrimmage in mid-August.
As much velocity as that ball had on it, it gives the receiver time to make a play.
And he did. 5 wide receivers. He finds Berrien, and he is hit head-on around the 12-yard line. Drew Wood. And that's going to be close to another Fresno State first down. That passing game starting to click finally for Carr.
And this is one of their favorite plays. It's going to be a middle screen from the outside. Outside receiver coming under. Offensive line clearing the way. Look downfield. The offensive lineman, Fitu Tua, leading the way downfield at about the 10-yard line.
That indeed was a first down. So 1st and 10 from the 11 for Fresno State as Berrien takes a break. Gaines gets it, picks up a yard, stopped at the 10-yard line.
We haven't seen the fly sweep is what they call it, and you almost saw it there. The man in motion handing it off, but they haven't done that yet. They do that 5 or 6 times a game. We'll see it soon.
Gaines starting to pick it up now, 8.7 yards per carry. Of course, he had that huge 57-yard run that set up the only Fresno State touchdown way back on their first drive of the football game.
Fresno, great coaching coming out of the halftime locker room. They scored in their first drive the last 4 games. Bad pass.
Another incompletion. After that touchdown, Fresno State had 4 straight punts, and then the half came to end their 5th possession after the touchdown, and Pat Hill's club is off to a good start again here in the second half, but it's going to be 3rd down and 9.
That's 3 balls. You know, you get a quarterback like David Carr, and you just assume that every ball is going to be on target. And that's an assumption that's really not fair.
The crowd, many of them standing at Hughes Stadium in Fort Collins. Play action. Carr looking in the end zone, nowhere to go, takes off, and he has to go out of bounds. Dexter Wynn chasing him out of bounds. So another hold by the defense. 4th down upcoming.
Well, that is just terrific coverage. Secondary, it's almost a secondary sack, but it's not a sack. Watch the zone coverage. No one can shake loose. Tell you what, Larry Kerr has a terrific game plan in here against Fresno's potent offense.
24-yard field goal coming for Asen Asparuhov of Bulgaria.
Nicely done, Pam. Nicely done.
From now on, we'll refer to him as Asen.
I worked in Fitu Tua. You came back with that.
And that field goal is good. So Asen Asparuhov now 10 for 10 from 29 yards and in. Fresno State has taken the lead. Florida State's already lost.
FSU.
Have made the trip here to Fort Collins, and they've seen their team take its 2nd lead of the night. The Asparuhov field goal. 10-7, and Colorado State gets the ball for the first time here in the second half. Dexter Wynn collects it at his 5 and is just mowed down. Is that Brett Vicentano, the kicker, got all the way down there?
Couldn't have been. Couldn't have been.
David Adamo was down there.
I'm taking the under on that one.
I think it might have been David Adamo, actually, who got down there. Let's take a look at the Fresno State scoring drive. 73 yards, took him just over 3 minutes to get down there. Carr was 4 of 7 for 68 yards.
Knowing what a bulldog the head coach Pat Hill is, I bet this defense for Fresno comes out and plays harder and better in the second half.
Dwayne Ruff had himself a good first half, and has a good first carry in the second half. First down and a whole lot more. Gets it up just short of the 35-yard line. First down, Colorado State.
Well, maybe they'll play harder and better on the next play.
A 20-yard gain for Dwayne Ruff.
Yeah, that was actually a missed tackle in the backfield by Tyree Sams. He had an opportunity to not only make a tackle, but to lay a lick on him.
So 1st and 10 now from the 35. Right back to Ruff, and this time nothing doing. Alan Harper plugging up the middle well. Let's go down to Heather Cox on the field. Heather?
Well, Pam, Dean was talking about Pat Hill being a true bulldog. Before that series started, he gathered the defense and asked for a turnover. This is a team with one of the best turnover ratios in the country. A surprise to them that they haven't had one yet so far. He's asking for a big play right now.
Thanks, Heather. In fact, they are plus 11, a terrific turnover ratio. They've intercepted 9 passes, forced 8 fumbles, and picked up 5 of them. And on the other side, the offense has done a really good job of protecting the football. Dwayne Ruff, another carry, gets it up to around the 38-yard line, give him a 6-yard gain. So 3rd down coming up.
You know, Harper made that last tackle. He is a really explosive player. There's a good look at Denning.
So it's 3rd and 7 from the 38 for the Rams. Rams 2 of 9 so far in 3rd downs, 36% for the season. 2 receivers to Van Pelt's left. He's looking all the way right, nowhere to go, so he takes off. Van Pelt is stopped near the first down marker. In fact, the first down would be right on the 40, and that's right where they're spotting it.
Critical spot here. See where he puts it down. See where he puts it down.
45, I should have said. And it is a first down for Colorado State, so Van Pelt's legs doing it.
Yep, it's the legs. It's because he has the size. You know, he's looking again. He makes a good decision. Don't force the ball. Makes a man miss him. 215 pounds, 220 pounds. A quarterback with a linebacker mentality is going to pick up a first down there.
So the legs and the head, as you said, making that good decision. Ruff cuts it up inside, and he'll pick up a yard. Jason Stewart coming up with the tackle.
Jason Stewart, one of the two up front, who is really good, really moves well. He's a little overshadowed by Harper.
Alan Harper, two-time all-WAC first team, and he's on the Lombardi and Outland Trophy watch lists, and Stewart plays next to him. Stewart is one of the better quotes on this team, and he's one of the guys who said, we know we can play with anybody in the country. They've done it so far, but they're really being tested tonight at Colorado State. 2nd and 9. Van Pelt again takes off. Slips, gets by 2, 3, 4 tacklers. He's all alone. Can they chase him down? No. Touchdown Rams. Three-yard touchdown run for Bradley Van Pelt, who outran a very speedy defense. 5 missed tackles by our count up here. That's Colorado State's longest run of the season. The Rams have taken the lead. There is a Fresno State player hurt on the field around the 10-yard line. But boy, Van Pelt, he's shown his toughness, and there he showed his speed.
Here's a guy who they won't even let audible. They don't let him check at the line of scrimmage. He has more interceptions than touchdowns. He's made poor decisions. The coaching staff is saying, man, we just have to have a quarterback play 50% and we'll be okay. And he's having a whale of a night. When he turns it up, he turns it up. You better not come arm tackling Bradley Van Pelt. I believe this one was a call draw. Quarterback draw, yes it is. 1 player misses him. 2, 3, runs through a tackle. 4. And then simply outruns the lineman. And that was Stewart. Maybe a hamstring because he was running full speed. 91 is the man.
It is Jason Stewart.
Diving into the end zone.
Terrific effort by the junior from Bakersfield as he tried to chase him down, but
you know, it's an unusual situation to have an injury. I mean, running full speed, you would think a hamstring maybe. He dove, so maybe knocked the wind out of him, maybe ribs.
That scoring drive, 53 of the 85 yards coming on the touchdown run. Bradley Van Pelt's hair is long. His dad wants him to get it cut. Bradley started wearing it long because he said he looked at a picture of his dad when he was at Michigan State. He
That's
said,
right.
Dad, you had long hair. I'm not cutting it. He said, however, that it's getting harder to work with.
Yeah,
you know, it gets dirtier. He has to style it. And so he's thinking about trimming it a little bit. But maybe after tonight, you keep the long hair.
Kind of stringy. A little stringy. What'd you say you look like? No, just tell me. River Phoenix. River Phoenix. I don't know who River Phoenix is. But
it's like Bradley Van Pelt. How about that? Coming up, more college football on ESPN2. Some Conference USA stuff Tuesday night. Jeff Kelly and Southern Miss visit Dave Ragone and Louisville. Louisville, one of the more potent offenses, taking on a pretty good defensive team from Southern Miss. College football coming your way 8 Eastern Tuesday night on ESPN2. For more, you can always log on to ESPN.com. How about that, Bradley Van Pelt with the long touchdown run. Colorado State has the lead. So a festive atmosphere here at Colorado State has been tempered by this scene. Jason Stewart still is on the field, the nose tackle, the junior from Bakersfield, valiantly, and boy, gave it all he got, trying to catch up with Bradley Van Pelt on his 53-yard touchdown run, and they have brought out a stretcher, and they will take Jason Stewart out. Let's take a look at the run again.
well, it's a good call. It's well executed, but this is one of the best individual efforts you'll ever see. And this guy's a quarterback.
Stewart, number 91.
Yeah. Here's the look at Stewart right at you there. Ooh, he banged his head.
Hit his head right there on the field. Justin Johnson, the outside linebacker, was running with him, so they're going to get him on the board, and we'll have an update on Jason Stewart. First, let's take you back to the studio and Brian Kenny.
Pam, once again, people out there didn't watch a little night football. Auburn over Florida. Damon Duval, 44 yards away, breaks the tie. And Auburn at home, still an upset over number 2, the Mighty Gators, 23-20 over Spurrier. Oregon State, one of the Fresno State victims earlier in the year, has a comfortable lead on Arizona right now. They're in the third quarter. Still a lot of time left there, but 28-0 right now. Pam?
Thank you, Brian. As we come back here, Colorado State up 3. The extra point is pending. And, of course, they bring the stretcher out. They take every precaution, everything that can be done will be done, thinking it's a worst-case scenario. Prepare for the worst, obviously. You hope for the best. If you are just joining us, Fresno State scored on the very first possession of the game, and then a key play coming up. It was going to be a field goal attempt for Colorado State, but Fresno jumped off sides.
Yeah.
And boy, Colorado State took advantage. Henry Childs took it up, and that tied it at 7.
Well, Alan Harper jumped off sides on a 3rd and 4.5. So you get the 5-yard penalty, first down, touchdown.
Bradley Van Pelt has 93 yards of rushing offense, including that 53-yarder for a touchdown, 35 yards through the air, so 127 yards of total offense for him. Jason Stewart, now they've lifted him up on the stretcher, and now he's being put on the gurney to be taken out of here. An ambulance is behind the goalposts, getting ready to take him out of the tunnel to our right. Heather Cox is on the field for us. Heather?
Well, Pam, a very preliminary injury update. I've gotten signals from the trainers that it is his back. He is conscious. He is moving. They're obviously being very careful of precautionary measures, bringing the ambulance out. I'll report more as I learn it.
All right, thanks a lot, Heather. That's good news. At least he is moving. And we saw on that second replay, you see Jason is moving his hands. His head just hit the field very hard. What a great effort by the kid trying to run down Van Pelt.
Well, nobody else could tackle him, so he was off and after him. I don't recall an injury like that, though. You know, a big lineman, what is he, a little over 270, full speed, full gait, sort of dives out and is injured that way.
That's why, the speculation maybe at first that it was a hammy, something pulled just from the speed and the running, but just a freak incident as he hit his head chasing down Van Pelt, who scored on the 53-yard touchdown run. Stewart, number 91, on the right. Like a face plant right into the field here. Fortunately, it's natural grass, so it could be artificial turf. Obviously, would be a lot harder than the natural grass we have here.
Well, one of the reasons he was chasing so well is that he was a defensive end last year. And defensive ends can run down people, but he wasn't going to catch Van Pelt, of course.
So as we get ready to take Jason Stewart out, let's head back quickly to Brian Kenny.
All right, Pam, once again, if you're just joining us here and you're looking up for some highlights, take you that way and take you to the Pac-10 right now. Washington coming in with a 12-game winning streak, third longest in the nation against UCLA. Give you some highlights of that ball game here in the first quarter. Rodney Leslie going back on Taylor Barton. New quarterback for Washington lost the football. UCLA gets it back. UCLA on the ensuing drive to Sean Foster. Very impressive ball game for the running back from UCLA. 31 carries, 301 yards. UCLA up comfortably 28-6, and it would get worse for the Huskies. Rick Neuheisel goes back to UCLA, and the alma mater pounds away. 301 yards for Deshaun Foster, and that is a UCLA running back record, which is saying something. Corey Poss only 9 for 19, but on the ground, the Bruins get it done 35-13, so the 12-game winning streak for Washington is snapped, and the Bruins stay unbeaten. The other surprise in the Pac-10, Washington State beating Stanford, coming from behind, beating a ranked team, 45-39 the final, 10 unanswered points for the Cougars in this one. Jason Gesser, 178 yards passing. It's their 5th win against Stanford since 1973, and the first win at Stanford since 1988. So Stanford loses its first game, and the Cougars remain unbeaten. Earlier in the day, Miami taking on Florida State. Florida State, even with its loss to North Carolina, still something magical about the 37-game winning streak at home, the 54-game unbeaten streak at home, but it would all go away pretty quickly. Ken Dorsey to Andre Johnson there. It's 14-0. Chris Ricks under pressure. Might have been a forward pass, but it's ruled a fumble there. Jonathan Vilma will pick this up and run it all the way back in. Miami easily making its case. It's number 1 in one of the polls. 49-27 the final. First loss at home since 1991. Chris Ricks intercepted 4 times, lost 2 fumbles, was 13 for 30. Clinton Portis, 122 yards on the ground. So Miami, previously all their opponents combined had one Division 1A win, but now a very impressive win over Florida State. Meantime, for Bobby Bowden, it's his second loss, giving up more than 40 points in a single game. Woody Dantzler, very impressive, 23 for 27 in the air, 333 yards. Also ran for 184 yards as Clemson beats NC State 45-37. Phillip Rivers with 3 touchdown passes, but Woody Dantzler, see it right there, 517 total yards. And South Carolina was unbeaten, but went into Arkansas, and Little Rock and Houston Nutt's team comes away with a win. A blocked field goal there in the final moments of play, so Arkansas holds on to take the victory, 10-7 the final there. So that's a quick wrap-up in the Pac-10 and the SEC. Let's go back now to Fresno State, Colorado State, Pam Ward. Pam?
Thank you very much, Brian. A very interesting Saturday so far. Jason Stewart now being loaded up into the ambulance again. Some movement for him, and right now they're preliminarily saying that it is a back injury for the junior nose tackle. Got a long delay here after a Van Pelt touchdown run has given Colorado State the 3-point lead over Fresno. We were waiting on Kent Naughton's extra point attempt. And you have to wonder what this will mean for Fresno State, a team that has just lost the lead and now lost one of its better players and certainly one of its most popular players. And this is just plain scary.
Yes, it is, and that is much more important than anything on the field at this point. But on the field, you do wonder about the gut check, because Fresno State, as they gather up as a team there, this is probably the biggest gut check they've had all year. And as we set up for this extra point, this is a very important extra point. 4 points, much bigger cushion, much bigger than the 3, which can tie.
Gets them out of the field goal and we're tied scenario. As we wait for Jason Stewart to leave. And the crowd here in Fort Collins, most of them standing, and now applauding as Jason Stewart goes off in the ambulance, where they will check him out at the local hospital. Cougar Valley Hospital, I believe, is the local hospital to which he's been taken here in Fort Collins.
Well, nice job there. They certainly didn't rush it. You get in some situations like this, and there's a game and everyone's anxious about the game, but everything stops with something like that. And they did a nice job there.
And of course they do take every precaution and take their time with them. So 12-minute delay is what happened there. Redstock puts down the hold. It's good. Flag is down, however, as Naughton gets the extra point pending the flag.
Big point after, as we just said.
Defense, offside, decline, points good.
So Naughton now 14 for 14 on extra points. 14 points up on the boards. Bradley Van Pelt's team has the lead. Welcome back to Fort Collins, Colorado, as you see Pat Hill gathering his guys together after the injury to Jason Stewart, and also his team is down now by 4 points.
Pat Hill makes no bones about it, and he does it with his team. He's straightforward. He's a very blunt guy. He says, guys, BCS is in front of us. We have to take care of business in this game.
And that means win each and every game. Babcock kicking it to Charles Smith. And he is just bowled over. Mark it around the 17-yard line. Jeff Flora doing a good job coming down on the punt or the kickoff coverage. NFL football coming your way tomorrow on ESPN. Jerry Rice has taken his skills on the other side of the bay. The Raiders, certainly more than a passing fancy. They're taking on the Colts. How about Eli's brother, Peyton Manning, leading the league's highest scoring offense? That's how we refer to him now. It's a meeting of offensive minds. Colts Raiders tomorrow night on ESPN at 8:28 Eastern Time. First down and 10. Carr to the air, gets it to Rodney Wright, who eludes 2 tacklers, gets the first down. Heads up the sideline. Finally, he is pushed out of bounds, but not before he gets a first down. And he is up at the 43-yard line of Fresno. Eric Pauley pushed him out.
Well, it's a great play by Wright that time, or it's a poor play defensively because you have 2 men in the area right there. 2 guys who can tackle him. Rodney Wright almost is able to take it to the house. That play should have been a 1-yard play.
26-yard play instead.
Yeah.
First down from the 43. Right back to the air. Gets Gaines on the right side. And Gaines is pushed out. The 47-yard line. Call it a gain of 4. Dexter Wynn coming up with the tackle.
This game is on the shoulders of the guy that we're all here to see, David Carr. Again, if you didn't hear us earlier, I guess the GM of Houston was actually here. Some other NFL people have been here. And there's a chance that he will be the #1 player taken in the NFL draft. I think this game's on his shoulders, number 8.
Thrown for 177 yards so far. Takes off and will get very, very small gain, maybe a yard or 2 for David Carr. David, very mature guy. He's married, has a 17-month-old son, Austin, back home in California with his wife, Melody. David obviously can't wear the wedding ring during the game. He tapes up that ring finger as just a reminder to himself and to his wife that that's a sweet thing.
Yeah.
That's when you know you haven't been married too long.
Yeah,
do that
I was
stuff.
watching him throw yesterday, and he had practice. There it is. See, that's a sign to his wife, Melody, that he's thinking of it. He's not thinking of it right now.
He's thinking first down right now. 3rd and 4. Gets it to Wright. Wright gets the first down.
What a little jitterbug he is.
Makes people miss. That's an 8-yard gain. First down for the Bulldogs. Let's go back down to Heather Cox.
A more detailed update on Jason Stewart, especially for his friends and family in Bakersfield. The spine board definitely precautionary. He does have all motor skills, all sensation in limbs. He is being taken to the Poudre Valley Hospital for evaluation. He will have x-rays and an MRI to make sure everything is okay. He was certainly scared as he was wheeled into the ambulance, but very, very good news for Stewart so far.
Thanks, Heather. Good news to know that he's moving, and again, they do take every precaution necessary. His mom is Claudette back in Bakersfield, and Berrien gets it. Big gain. Knocked down there by Jason Gallimore. It's going to be 1st and goal for Fresno State from the 8.
Well, that's right where my eyes were, because that was a one-on-one situation, a skinny post route, and this guy can hum it. I mean, this ball is right on the money. And Berrien is very explosive once he catches it. He has those skinny legs. Carr knows that one is zipped on the money, and now he has a chance to take it in and take the lead.
Berrien,
big time throw.
3 catches for 65 yards for Berrien as a flag. More than one flag. Many flags come down.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Now they've shot themselves in the foot several times here tonight. Just get momentum and then get set back.
So it'll still be 1st and goal, but now from the 13-yard line for Fresno State. looking for Berrien in the end zone, but instead he is sacked. Boy, Berrien was open for just a split second, but there was no room because Jeff Grau and company came up and put on the pressure.
Well, it's a great game plan defensively, and it's great execution by a team that is not overly gifted physically. I do think, though, that fly sweep, as Fresno calls it, is a play they're going to come back to. That they're going to hand the ball off to the receiver on the sweep.
Grau had a sack last week against Louisville, gets that one. A senior from Delray Beach, Florida. Now, 3rd and goal from the 17. Fresno continuing to go backwards. Carr in the end zone, looking for Smith. It's tipped and incomplete. 3 Colorado State Rams were around the ball, including Drew Wood. He got his hands on it.
Sometimes when you have as strong an arm as Carr has, you kind of force it in there. They drop into zone, 3 men in the area. Look at that, linebacker, safety. And Carr forced that one.
Jason Gallimore also back there. Look at Wood, so frustrated. This guy's had a couple of interceptions for this team. In fact, he has 3 to lead them, and they're going now. Actually, now it is 3rd down, 3rd and goal from the 17 as they missed on that 2nd down play after the penalty, after the sack. Carr in the end zone, overthrows.
Missed him.
He did miss his man.
He had pressure. They came with a blitz, and up here in the press box and on television, you may say, wide open. What's wrong? When you have pressure in your face, it's not quite that easy.
Looking for
this is a
Rodney
great
Wright.
shot of it. Yeah. He gets some pressure. This one's floated just a little bit. And you know what? Wright held up on the route.
34-yard field goal coming up. Sent Asparuhov made his first attempt from 24. Sent us from Bulgaria. Plays soccer for the Bulgarian Air Force. He's a heck of a kicker. He's got 2 field goals, and Fresno State has cut the lead to 1.
For a guy who hadn't kicked very much, he's pretty good.
Sure is. Asparuhov, his first field goal attempt ever came in the opening game last year against Ohio State. He had never even tried one. He was on a junior college team in San Diego where he just kicked off, but very accurate kicker. And Fresno responding well after the long delay and Jason Stort's injury, come down and get the field goal. But again, Pat Hill dealing with penalty and then the sack that just kept pushing them back.
Yeah. But you know what, Pam? It's a great game, and what we're seeing is both teams respond. Fresno came out, start the quarter, go get points. Van Pelt came back, go get a touchdown. And then David Carr took his club down. You mentioned the penalty, but they still get points.
We're only down by 1. The last time these 2 teams met was 2 years ago in Fresno. Derek Ward ran for 156 yards for the Bulldogs, and Colorado State did not help things. Matt Newton there with 4 interceptions on the day for Colorado State. Billy Volek now with the Titans, 2 touchdowns, 179 yards as Colorado State fell at Fresno. Much different story, much closer game, obviously, tonight. Brett Bissentainer in to kick off for Fresno, now trailing by 1. Taken by Repstock a couple of yards deep, and he's coming out. Repstock past the 20, tripped up, and they will mark it at the 27.
Well, he was fine in bringing that one out. In fact, that was a good move because that ball was kicked low, and it was sort of like a low punt that's kicked deep. It's a returnable punt. It's a returnable kick, and he got it out well beyond the 20, which he would have, of course, had it at if he had just taken it down.
So he gets about 7 extra yards on that. In fact, he does get 7 extra yards. 1st and 10 from the 27. Bradley Van Pelt getting close to the 100-yard mark and rushing for this football team, just 7 yards short. Trying to pick him up now. Gets a couple as he's tackled just over the 30-yard line by Maurice Rodriguez, a senior from Visalia, California.
Well, you don't start running the clock out at this point, because you have 20 minutes to go. But at the same time, clock management is really important. You come into this game, again, knowing that you're not going to score a lot of points, that your defense is going to keep you in it, that you play good special teams, that you don't turn the ball over. And they've executed that game plan pretty well.
2nd and 6. A little sidearm throw, and it's almost intercepted. It went off the hands of Joel Dreesen and then was almost picked off by Justin Johnson, the outside linebacker.
Well, that's the first mistake by Van Pelt. This was a poorly thrown ball, and it should have been picked off there, which would have given Fresno State a lot of great field position. That was Justin Johnson, as you mentioned, who has not made as many big plays as they had expected from him this year.
A little bit of a discrepancy, wouldn't you say? 219 to 35 in passing yards, but Colorado State has the lead. That pass is completed to Jose Ochoa, who gets the first down for the Rams. The big tight end from Silmar, California, 6'3", 255, picks up 10 in the first.
High percentage play.
Ochoa, nominee for the John Mackey Award, which goes out to the best tight end in the country. He was first-team All-Mountain West last year when he had 22 catches and 3 touchdowns. And that was a nice catch for him and a first down for the Rams. Have it at their own 40. Motion. Give it to Ruff. That was another pod popper. Mark Daly, pad popper, Mark Daly, the middle linebacker. What am I saying? Mark Daly from right in Fresno comes up and makes the stop.
We're seeing a couple of licks now. Watch 31. Watch this stick. Harper comes over, but that is a big-time tackle. Form tackle from a linebacker who's supposed to be able to make tackles like that.
It's a 2-yard carry, rather. A tough one for Ruff. It's 2nd and 8. Pitch it back to Dwayne Ruff. Not much room. Tries to cut it back, but Dwayne is tackled for a loss. Great pursuit that time, led by Grant Harrington. And Harrington is the guy in there now that Jason Stewart is hurt.
Pam, what do you think about a halfback pass? Huh? A little tailback pass? Why don't we put one in up there? You know, Van Pelt, though, telling us that at least in the first 10 plays they were going to run, they didn't have any big play opportunities. You know, no bombs, no trick plays, nothing special.
Only seen one attempt. Remember, Pete Redstock caught the ball momentarily back in the first half and was unable to bring it down. 3rd and 10 after the loss on the play. Van Pelt gets it off just in time, and he completes the pass. It looks like it's just short of the first down. Chris Pittman, the sophomore from Chula Vista, California, with his first catch of the night.
We're seeing a quarterback come of age, and I say that, and he only has like 50 yards passing. Fans saying go for it. No, I don't see that you can go for that.
They're about a yard short.
And Sonny is going for it. That puts a lot of faith in his defense, unless they're going to try to get Fresno to jump off sides, which they have a couple of times tonight.
Colorado State 4 of 7. 4th downs they don't. You just go with the big guy, and he pulls over and easily gets the first down.
Now that is a somewhat risky call. I mean, not totally risky because your offense is moving and you have a big, strong quarterback. But Sonny Lubick says, we've got momentum. Let's go get this thing. I think that's a great message to his team.
Because if you don't get it, Fresno gets it at midfield. Morgan Pears, 6'8", 309, and Mark Dreyer, 6'4", 281, the big guys who got the surge for Sonny Lubick's club.
You know, one of the things I liked about that call there is they didn't hesitate at all. They called the play. They went to the line of scrimmage. They snapped it. Before you knew it, he had the first down. They're back in a huddle.
What a luxury to have somebody like Van Pelt at 6'3", 217 or so. First down just over midfield in Fresno territory. Hari in motion right. Pitch it back to Ruff. Penalty flags are down as Ruff goes down. Loses about 3, but we'll check out the flags. Alan Harper among those on the stop. Alan Harper right there in front of the official.
Legal formation, offense. That penalty is declined. 2nd down.
Let's go to Brian Kenny, who has a Pac-10 update for us. Brian?
Yes, indeed, Pam. Go to Oregon State and Arizona. Oregon State coming off back-to-back losses to UCLA and Washington State. But here, Ken Simonton, well, receiving yardage there. Running yardage, and finally, for the first time this season, go over 100 yards. Ken Simonton goes over for the touchdown. It's now 35-0 in the third. Pam?
Thanks, Brian. That's amazing. No one would have thought that it would take Simonton this long. As Ruff gets the carry on 2nd and 13, picks up 6. And Oregon State is a team that Fresno State beat early, beat badly early. Remember, everybody all excited. You go out, you beat Colorado on the road, Oregon State at home, and then Wisconsin on the road. And Wisconsin had a big win today over at Ohio State.
You start pulling for all of them.
Right.
And, you know, all of a sudden, Colorado has turned it around. They beat Texas A&M today. They've not lost a game since Fresno State got them early. So that's why this game is so critical. I mean, they have a chance to hang in the top 6 or 7 teams in the country with a schedule that will have them favored in every game from here on out. 3 teams that were winless going into today. They must win this one, though, to keep any BCS chances alive.
They know they have to stay unbeaten to do that. More clock issues on 3rd and 8.
This game's been held up several times now. Lots of penalties. We had the injury. And some confusion.
Yep. Clock resets. Gerald Wright puts 7 more seconds back on. So 55 seconds left to go here in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 8 upcoming for Colorado State. Of course, the way the BCS is set up, the way that the opponents play later in the season will weigh into the point system. So Fresno State, though, has to take care of business. They got to win tonight, as you said, Dean.
Absolutely.
3rd down play. Van Pelt looking for Repstock, can't hold it. Good defensive play by Tyree Sams, the senior from Fresno.
Yeah, it was. They brought the blitz. He had to get rid of it quickly, and Tyree Sams all over Repstock.
Joey Huber out to punt. Sams is very fast. He, how about a 10.46, 100 meters in high school? Quick, and also good coverage there for Tyree. I'd say that's pretty fast.
Well, he's a senior. He may be one of the guys that will be drafted or certainly have a chance to play in the NFL. And so, you know, you have on this team, you have Harper, who's the 14th pick. You have the quarterback who's somewhere in the top 4. It's not shy of talent.
A lot of talent as Berrien gets it. Flag is down as he is tackled around the 20. Joey Huber with his 6th punt of the night.
Halo, how you doing? Inside the 2-yard or 6-foot zone, just like the circle. You're a basketball lady. Just like a circle in basketball. Right. You get inside that. Let's see. Close. I don't know. That's pretty close.
That was Thal Woods, who was inside the halo area.
Hey, that's okay. You know, a lot of people think that here we'll get the call. You know, why not? Why not do that? There's no risk of a long run back.
Heather Cox has an update for us on the field. Heather.
Well, we talked about the 60-mile-an-hour winds earlier today, but so far weather conditions not a factor. It's been all about execution. Winds just 12 miles an hour right now. And, you know, guys, I don't think I've ever been quite so comfortable in Hughes Stadium as I am right now.
It is unusual because we have been here even earlier in the season and there's been snow. It's very, very nice and pleasant.
I'm glad to see that weather forecasters are the same throughout the country. No, I'm kidding.
1st and 10 as Gaines gets a small gain. And, you know, Heather's a sideline reporter, and I did that for a full season plus. The weather is so important.
Yes, it is.
When you come, you pack, especially when you come to Colorado. You got to bring long underwear. You got to bring the stuff.
You had 6 suitcases with that little car that ESPN got you. You didn't have room. You were dragging one of them.
No, and I'm in a booth. I'm heated up here. But yeah, it's great playing conditions, obviously, for both sides as the 3rd quarter winds down close to the inside 10 seconds by the time Carr gets the snap off on 2nd and 8.
There it is.
Rodney Wright gets outside. Clock keeps running. That will be the last play of the 3rd quarter. 3rd down will be coming up for Fresno State when we come back to start the 4th. As David Carr's team unbeaten coming in, can they keep it up? We have a quarter to play in Fort Collins. welcome back to Fort Collins. 1 quarter left to play, and Fresno State is down by a point. Pam Ward here along with Dean Blevins. Great effort for Colorado State so far.
It has been, but this is why you play football. I mean, you have a chance to come back in the 4th quarter in a game you absolutely have to win. You have an All-American quarterback, a guy who's supposed to be the best in the country, and he's got to come back and lead his team to win. And of course, on the other side, Colorado State is saying, nope, not going to let you do it. We played well all night. Just a great matchup right here in the 4th quarter.
Carr with 219 yards passing so far and a touchdown. This is a 3rd and 5. The pump fake. He's going for Rodney Wright. He has it for the first down in Colorado State territory. So Rodney Wright and Carr connecting for 25 yards.
Another great example of the hose, of the gun, of the arm on this quarterback. In between the corner, but in front of the safety. You've got to get that ball there quickly. And he does. That is a long, hard throw. He throws it from one hash to the sideline on the other side. Probably 50 yards in all in the air.
Right. 5 catches for 74 yards. First down from the Colorado State 48. Or again, checking off. Looking all the way for Wright. Flags are down. That is incomplete. Good coverage by Dexter Wynn. So that's Jason Gallimore, Dexter Wynn, Adam Wade, all the guys with good coverage. We'll check out the penalty. Real motion. The microphone for the referee obviously not working. That's Gerald Wright. So another penalty for Fresno State.
Colorado State has taken away the middle screen. That's been the most effective play this season for the Bulldogs.
Hats off to Larry Kerr for coming up with a very effective game plan. So they're going to decline this penalty.
I don't blame them. I mean, this is a dangerous club. They're kind of getting some momentum. They're getting the ball to the little guys on the outside, breaking tackles.
So you go 2nd and 10 instead of 1st and 15.
Yeah, I would do the same thing.
Interesting call now by Kerr. Carr gives it up to Paris Gaines, who gets it to the 44-yard line of Colorado State. Picks up about 4. Lucas Smith with the tackle.
Patient play calling. 2nd and 10. Colorado State thinking pass. Only they're in a base defense. 4 up front.
These two teams play very similar defenses.
Yeah, they do.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers style.
So zone blitz defense.
5 receivers now in on 3rd and 6. 3 of them to Carr's right. He looks left. The pass is completed to Berrien, but he is stopped well short of the first down. That slant didn't work. Thal Woods from Denver with the big stop.
4th down territory. Certainly can't kick a field goal. Boy, this is why the head coach has paid a lot of money. It's too long to go for it. Great job of tackling. Great job of play recognition.
Jason Simpson, the punt for the Bulldogs.
Punter Jason Simpson comes in. This is his 5th punt,
goes deep for Colorado State.
averaging just over 46 yards.
He has to kick it inside the 20-yard line. He's not done a good job of that tonight.
Dexter Wynn standing at the 8. Fair catch.
Good kick.
At the 12. That is where Colorado State takes over. You said he needed to get it inside the 20. Dean, he did that.
Yes, he did.
Colorado State has the ball and the lead. Game track. Story of the game, Bradley Van Pelt, 2 yards short of 100 yards on the ground, including a 53-yard touchdown run. Colorado State outgaining Fresno on the ground. Dwayne Ruff doing a good job as well, along with Bradley Van Pelt. Passing, it's starting to pile up now for Fresno. There's Bernard Berrien catching the pass from David Carr. The most important stat, 14-13 in favor of the Rams. They have the ball. And they have it on their 13, 1st and 10. Henry Childs in the backfield gets the carry. Picks up about 4.
Just trying to find a crease. This is a defense that does a lot of sliding, a lot of twisting up front. Mark Daly there on the stop. But several plays will be stuffed in the backfield because they didn't find that crease, and then some throughout the evening have found a crease, and those are the ones you bust for good yardage. Obviously, critical series. Colorado State wanting to eat up clock and force Fresno State deep back in its territory if they can't score.
That was a 5-yard gain, and Childs catches the pass for a first down. Great sliding catch by Henry, who came in with 3 catches on the season.
Well, that was a terrific catch. He comes highly touted. Transfer from Kansas, made a great adjustment here. Not a well-thrown football. You know what? That wasn't that poorly thrown because the defenders were coming into that play. He sort of had to throw it behind him, so it was going to be incomplete or only caught by his man.
So Bryce McGill, the free safety all over him. We mentioned a Kansas wide receiver, one of the many positions that Henry played. So it's first down from the 25. And Henry Childs is breaking loose past midfield and shoved out at the 38-yard line of Fresno State. Vernon Fox finally caught up to him. What a 38-yard gain for Childs. It's been his drive.
Last 2 minutes have been pretty good for Andre. Look at that defense. Slanting left, sliding left. And Andre cuts it back, finds him a little hole and cuts it back for big yardage.
38-yard gain. So Childs now has 68 on the night and a touchdown. I want to give credit to Morgan Pears, the 6'8 junior from Denver, the left guard, with a terrific block to help free Childs. First down, boy, Van Pelt slips down and gets his knee down, so that's a loss for Van Pelt. Fans booing, thinking that it was an unnecessary contact, but that's one thing about college. When your knee's down, doesn't matter if anybody touches you. You are down. He loses 8.
Well, one of the few lost yardage, and that's not his fault. It is interesting right here that Harper stays after him. Just kind of a love tap, and then he hits him on the helmet. That's what the fans didn't like. But one of the problems coming into the game for Colorado State is the lost yardage. You get in 2nd and 16 or 2nd and 19. You get behind the chains, you can't win, and they've not done that tonight.
2nd and 17, a 7-yard loss that time as Van Pelt lost his footing. Goes again. And he is tackled down after an 8-yard gain. So,
you know, you were talking about Morgan Pears. Look at the right side of the line on this play. Look at him move right. Everyone is back 5 yards. And that is a terrific job by the guys up front, starting with Dreyer, the center. It's kind of easy to run option plays when your offensive linemen are 6 yards down the field.
Dreyer's only a sophomore. 3rd down. Van Pelt is short. As he is tackled around the 33-yard line. It would be a 50-yard field goal attempt.
Well, interesting call for the head coach in the green. I think they're going to think about it.
4th and 5 at the 33.
4th and 5 from the 33. Kent Naughton, not a long leg, at least has not had the opportunity to display it. His long this year is from 38, has not attempted anything longer than 38. We're going to take a break. They'll think it over. 4th down upcoming for Colorado State. Fourth down from the 33. Colorado State will not try the 50-yard field goal. They are going for it, Dean.
Well, 50-yard field goal, your odds of making it are not good. You could get it blocked. Fresno blocks a lot of kicks. Punting it from there makes no sense. That's the only option you really have. 4th and 5. I had Greg Davis, the offensive coordinator at Texas, told me the odds on this. I think it's somewhere, you know, it depends on which team, but I think your conversion percentage is somewhere around 35%. So they're bucking the odds here, but they have to do it.
They're 1 for 1 on 4th downs tonight. 5 for 8 on the season. 4th and 5 from the 33. Hard count. Almost got a Fresno player offsides. Van Pelt goes for it, and he is stopped short. the 30, and that is where Fresno State will take over, so the gamble did not pay off. The Colorado State lineman who is slow getting up.
Great defense here. Fresno knows that Van Pelt is going to be the guy. It was a called pass. It wasn't a quarterback draw, but they knew that he was the man who was going to make the play. And that was a much better job of containing him than they've done most of the night. So now they turn this thing around. Only down 1 with good field position.
And plenty of time, 9:45 left. They get it on the 31, this Fresno State. That was the center, Mark Dreyer, slow getting up, but he did leave under his own power for Colorado State. So let's see what David Carr has up his sleeve. Play action, looking and finding Smith. Charles Smith with the reception into Colorado State territory. Aaron Sprague with the tackle.
You know, you look at Carr miss a few short passes and you go, well, what's so special about this guy? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a big-time throw. Over the top of the linebacker, inside the safety, and inside the corner and underneath the safety.
That's a 39-yard gain. Let's go to Heather Cox.
That's exactly what Coach Hill wanted to do against a sagging Rams defense. He said, we need to find our passing game late in the fourth quarter.
And they did it there. Smith now has 5 catches for 88 yards. Carr has 284 yards through the air. Drew Wood making the stop on Paris Gaines on first down.
Pam, we came into the second half saying that there had only been little dinks here and there for Carr. I think his longest ball was 17 yards. He had to get the ball downfield. He's hit some of his guys on little short screens. They've busted some tackles and made some long yardage. But what's really been the difference is those deeper balls that he's thrown with precision accuracy.
It's a 4-yard gain, 4 gains, 2nd and 6. Good pressure by Peter Hogan. Carr gets away from him and finally throws it to Berrien, who gets it at the 15. And boy, Carr was getting really close to the line of scrimmage, wasn't he, Dean?
Hey, that's big time, though. I mean, I'm telling you, Pam, this guy is doing it. We said that it's on his shoulders. Carr is making the plays. First of all, containment looks like it has him. Carr uses his feet, gets around Hogan. Now it looks like he has to run it. Finds Berrien, though, throws back across his body and takes the lick. He's making the plays.
So that was Adam Wade who came in and stuck him, but that's a terrific play. 1st and 10 now from the 15. Carr looking, finding, touchdown. Alec Greco, the tight end, and Fresno State takes the lead back on the 15-yard touchdown pass.
They're up 5. They'll go for 2. That's one of those plays that the offensive coordinator has it in his playbook. If we get in this situation, we do this. We get in this situation, we do this. They go play action, perfectly executed.
That's Greco's first touchdown catch of the season. And again, co-offensive coordinators, or actually that's Andy Ludwig, who is the offensive coordinator. Colorado State is the co-offensive coordinators. And both touchdowns have gone to the tight ends, Greco and Spock tonight for Fresno.
Quarterbacks love tight ends. They love the H-backs.
And look, Dean, you're right. They are indeed going for 2, trying to get that touchdown lead. Paris Gaines in the backfield, trying to get it through the air. Good coverage there on Rodney Wright.
David Carr's pass.
That was Justin Gallimore, the older. They're twins. Justin Gallimore.
He may be older. You never know.
We'll check on that. Anyway, it was a touchdown. Both tight ends have touchdown passes. Fresno gets the lead.
Maybe Heather can check on it.
David Carr, 3 for 3 on that drive, 65 yards, including the 14-yard touchdown pass to tight end Alec Greco. 2-point conversion, though, failed, but Fresno has taken a 19-14 lead with 8:19 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Brett Vicentainer in to kick off for Fresno after the touchdown.
Pauly gets suckered in. He's responsible for this. It's the H-back right there. Gets beat. Right over the top. Perfect execution. What a wonderful drive by Fresno. And what a wonderful drive engineered by David Carr.
Only took him a minute 26 to go 69 yards in that one gutty play that he made to help set up the touchdown earlier on that drive. Slight delay there as they're fixing the batteries in the pack, the microphone pack with the referee, and that is a mistake now as Vicentainer kicks it out of bounds.
Free kick out of bounds. Ball be placed at the 35-yard line.
That is not good, and good job replacing the batteries there for Gerald Wright, the referee. A lot of upsets today, Dean, in the top 10. How about Florida losing at Auburn, Washington falling big time to UCLA, and South Carolina also was a loser today. So again, an opportunity for Fresno State to move up.
Well, Florida's the biggest surprise there. Washington, UCLA is supposed to beat them. South Carolina goes to Arkansas, and if South Carolina can score 15, 16 points, they're going to beat the Razorbacks, who are struggling offensively, but Arkansas can flat play some defense.
From the 35, Dwayne Ruff in the backfield. Gets it. Ruff, good hole right up the gut. Picks up 7. 2nd and 3 upcoming.
Colorado State is running the football so well. It'll be a tough loss if they don't win as well as they're running the football. They have 270 yards now, 269. Van Pelt, 104 yards and a touchdown. Ruff has 89, and Childs 68 and a touchdown.
You see how good they are. 43 and 4 when at least one guy breaks a 100-yard mark, and that's Van Pelt, who is, by the way, the first quarterback for Colorado State to hit the century mark since Mike Jimenez back in 1989. He had 102 yards against New Mexico. So the odds say they will win this game, but they are trailing. Van Pelt strings it out, keeps it. Boy, does he try to get close to the first down, lost the ball, but the officials say he is down, and he is down, Dean, right around where the first down would be, the 45-yard line. Tyree Sams coming up and making the stop. Some heart flutters, I think, for Sonny Lubick at the end of this play.
Well, they love the quarterback wide on that, Van Pelt, because he is so strong. He can carry linebackers with him. Usually quarterbacks succumb to linebacker pressure.
It was a first down, 1st and 10. Pitch it back to Ruff. And he cuts inside of a block. Alan Harper coming up and making the stop. Boy, that was another good block there by Mark Dreyer, the sophomore center. Ruff read that block well, cut it up, and got the game, the 4-yard gain. Dwayne Ruff now has 100 yards even, Dean, so 2 100-yard rushers now for Colorado State.
All that goes out down the tubes if they can't do anything here. Colorado State is a methodical offense, so the time is an issue.
2nd and 6 with a 49, an issue there. Oh boy, he throws it away, Van Pelt, as he was about to go down. Big pressure from Alan Harper.
Ooh, that was close. Yeah, that's a penalty. That's what I was thinking. I didn't see Fresno screaming around about that, but I think it was. He was inside the tackle box. You have to be outside the tackle box to throw it away the way he did. Get ready to stop him. Stop it right there, if you will.
Kitchell grounding. Offense. Lost it down.
That was a good call.
He did have Dallas Davis near, but he did throw it away. And you agree with the call, Dean?
Yeah, that was a good call. And I thought when he threw it away, it was that it should have been a penalty, and it seemed like it took the officials 5 or 10 seconds to throw that.
Good pressure from Alan Harper. That brings up a 3rd and 14 from Colorado State's 41. Big play upcoming. Down by 5. They need a touchdown.
Fresno playing soft. Linebackers back.
Van Pelt looking way downfield for Rebstock, who can't quite catch up to it. Colorado State's going to have to punt the ball away.
You know what? He had him. He actually had him open. And Van Pelt has a gun himself. This is close to being completed. Rebstock has a couple of yards.
It's Kendall Edwards with the coverage. The sophomore. And the punt is upcoming now from Joey Huber, his 7th punt of the evening. That's a 68-yarder earlier. Looking backed off on that one a bit. Berrien gets it at the 23, sidesteps a tackle, and is ankle tackled down at the 26. That is where Fresno State will take over. Chad Dixon with the tackle. Need a big stop here from Colorado State.
Back in Fort Collins, where Fresno State up by 5 with 6 minutes to go. Mike Bell, a Colorado State Ram, was a 2-time All-American defensive tackle for the Rams under Sark Arslanian in the late 70s. He was then the 2nd player chosen in the '79 draft and spent 12 years with the Kansas City Chiefs. Last night, he was inducted into the Colorado State Hall of Fame. I am now joined by Mike Bell, and I've got to believe in 12 years in the pros, 4 years here at Colorado State, it's games like these that you remember. Top 10 team, sold-out house, hoping to go for the upset.
These are the kind of games you play for. You look forward to seeing the national audience and playing for the national audience and playing the best. So you do look forward to these kind of games.
We'll let you enjoy it. Back up to the booth.
Thank you.
Thanks, Heather, as David Carr completes the first down pass to Alec Greco, his tight end, Aaron Sprague on the coverage. That was great in film, wasn't it, of Mike Bell with the helmets. They were reversed back then, the yellow helmets with the green horns, and they didn't paint their helmets very often back there in the late 70s.
No, they didn't, and they never got it. They never shined them. You know, if you had a helmet, you wore it all the time. Had some